Welcome to Derby, Kansas for the Game Time High School Game of the Week on Your View. Tonight, the 2-2 Derby Panthers play host to the 3-1 Hutchinson Salthawks. Welcome you inside our beautiful broadcast booth tonight. I'm Scott Hogan alongside Scott Gurney. Scott, I know it's week 5 of the high school football season, but being around all these great fans, the players, the coaches earlier in the week, this has a really big game feel tonight.
It does, kind of a playoff type of feel to it, and it does have implications for Hutchinson at 3-1. You think if they win tonight, they're set at 4-1, sets them up for a really good-looking playoff picture for them. For Derby, on the other hand, if they should suffer the loss, go to 2-3, that's a whole different picture, and doesn't set up well for a team that's used to being at home at playoff time.
Yeah, and visiting with the coaches earlier in the week, they talked a lot about how we handle adversity tonight will determine if we can win this football game.
You bet. Derby, they think they've struggled getting started, beginning of the game, coming out of halftime. They got to get better, that they can't put themselves behind the 8 ball. Derby can't beat Derby tonight. For Hutchinson, it's a different deal. How well do you bounce back from a big punch? Say Finley gets loose. That reaction will set the tone for the game.
Well, let's take a look at our great players to watch tonight. Let's start with the senior quarterback for the Salthawks, Robert Hunter.
How about 581 yards already, 9 touchdowns, just 2 picks on the season. He can hurt you with the arm, but he's devastating with the legs.
And on the other side, we already alluded to him because we've been talking about him since he's a freshman. Now in his junior season for the Panthers, running back Arius Finley.
Over 1,500 yards as a sophomore, now 628. He's on pace to eclipse that. This guy is wiggly. He can get loose on you, and if he gets into the secondary, he's going to make you hurt.
Yeah, this is going to be a sensational matchup tonight in Derby. We'll take a break, and we're back with more of the Game Time High School Game of the Week on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident, it was not your fault. Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
Game Time on Your View is brought to you by Keeley Roofing and Construction. Let us show you why our customers voted us the best of Wichita for roofing, siding, decks, and guttering. Keeley Roofing and Construction, where quality meets integrity.
And there's head coach Mike Vernon getting his Salthawks ready. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at keys to victory.
Well, for the Salthawks, they want to establish the run game early. And on defense, they want to tackle Finley. Want to limit what Finley can do in the run game. For Derby, win special teams. They've got to be special tonight. The win may have an effect on that. And don't beat ourselves. Derby can't beat Derby tonight with mental errors and putting themselves in bad situations.
Yeah, last week, Coach alluded to it, they had a first quarter fumble inside their own 10, and they also allowed a kick return inside their own 10. 2 really short fields for Mays. Beautiful. I can't believe it's October. 81 degrees, wind a little gusty out of the southeast. It appears to be going down a little bit. And it's gusting to 19, and we'll find out how that affects things as Hutch won the toss and deferred. So Derby's going to get the football. They will work into the wind here in the first quarter. Let me see a great look at the Salthawks. You had mentioned it's been a while since the Salthawks have tasted victory against Derby.
2012 was the last time it happened. So there's a lot of pin-up stuff right there that is built up in the Hutch history that they want to try to overcome tonight. These kids maybe not knowing so much of that, but you never know. You get dads that have played before. You got kids now on the field. Hey, that can transfer right on down. So big time game tonight if Hutch comes in and knocks off Derby tonight.
Zagian will kick off for Hutch. They're going to pop it short, try to keep it away from Finley. It's fielded by one of the up men at the 22 and taking it there across the 30. And that would be, it looked like number 26, Jamari Jones. He'll back up Finley at the running back. There you see him. We talked about Derby. Going to get off to that quick start. Same thing for Hutch. There you see Arius Finley. We've gotten to see him the last couple of years. High praise for him. Of course, when you come behind Dylan Edwards, there's going to be comparisons, and I think they're pretty apt comparisons. This young man is showing those flashes.
Well, even he's getting a little love from his coach about that as well, saying, hey, this guy compares very, very equally to him. Could be even better. Let's see.
And Blake Clark, the coach's son at quarterback, in the read option, and Finley lost the football, and the Salthawks have recovered at the Derby 32, and we talked specifically about getting started well, and that's just the exact opposite of what Derby just did right there.
Oh, my goodness. Putting the ball on the turf right off the bat. You see the exchange. Watch it here. Reach in, tries to ride his running back, Arius Finley. Ball pops right out and onto the turf.
Oaken Williams, number 22, the recovery for the Salthawks. So right out to the field will come Robert Hunter, and that Salthawk offense, there you see him there, Gaetho Karanu. They need to get him going at the running back tonight to keep the defense honest. A good veteran line. Hunter's got plenty of time. Things are breaking down. This is where he can be dangerous. Gets to the edge, fires it wide open, then it's picked off. Derby's got blockers in front. Down the sideline, still on his feet, out to near midfield is Jalen Jackson. Oh, goodness, he had a receiver wide open, and Hunter overshot him.
Oh, my goodness. You talk about adversity and how you're going to respond to. There's a great bunch by the Derby defense, really pushing Robert Hunter out of the pocket, forcing him to make a decision that he probably didn't want to make. And I'm sure he wishes he had it back here, but watch, he elevates his football right into the hands of the defender.
Wow, 2 plays, 2 turnovers. Not exactly how either coach drew it up. Now near midfield. There we go with Finley trying to break it wide, and he got to the edge. This is dangerous inside the 30, or excuse me, near the 30. He'll step out of bounds. And actually, they're going to give him a great spot. They will mark him inside the 30 at the 29. It's just that zone read, and right up the middle went Finley.
Yeah, big run outside. Again, using that big, experienced offensive line, it brings back everybody from last year. And you can see his breakaway speed. He's able to get to the corner.
Now the tempo and a late flag. We may have had some early movement. And we'll hear for the first time from our referee, Rick Ruman.
Offense, everybody with the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So it was a false start on the Panthers. Here's big number 70, Max Robinson. We'll talk a little bit about him.
So, wow, we talk about adversity in the open, and boom, it just rears its ugly head right there in the beginning. Insane.
Yeah, it's amazing that, boy, Hutch, we'll look back on that opportunity. That was kind of a gift of a turnover, and then they turn it right back over. First and 15, here's that option on the edge. Clark will take it himself, made a nice read. He'll get back inside the 30 and get the penalty yardage back. And that's the junior Blade Clark. Good decision that time on the option.
Yes, it was. Brody McCune. Ooh, that's not a scene you like to see.
That's Killian Hendrick, number 17.
A lot of medical staff running out there to see how this young man's doing right here. And Oh, nobody wants to see that.
We're going to step aside for an injury timeout, and we'll be back hopefully with some information on the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
At the injury to Killian Hendrick.
Watch number 17, the lower part of the screen right there. Lowers the head, goes in with the crown of the helmet, and hits the hip of Blade Clark. Take another look at it here. Just got his head down, just got whacked. He is up and walking off the field under his own power. And boy, you really like seeing that, especially after an opportunity, that my goodness, that could have been season ending, could have been career ending, could have been even worse.
Yeah, so they'll check on him on the sideline, and back to Finley, trying to break it wide right, and he got tripped up just enough by number 22, Oaken Williams, not to get to the sideline and turn the corner. Gains about 5 again.
Yeah, take another look. There's the read, the handoff. Nice job getting outside. How about Oaken Williams showing off the speed? Coming up, just tripping him up.
And now the tempo. And back to Finley. Going to go wide right. He stretched out, and Hutch defended that really well, and will bring up a 4th down decision. It looked like stretching that out was number 40 for Ashton Lemons.
Yeah, Lemons did a great job. Pursuit to the football to try to string that one out.
6'1", 202. There you see, we're going to talk a lot about Anderson there at the middle linebacker. And Derby on 4th and a deuce. Clark going to go with a sneak, needs a second push, and got it. I don't think initially he had it behind that big offensive line, able to move the change. You don't see a sneak a lot on 4th and a deuce, but that's exactly what Blake Clark and the Panthers just did.
A Philadelphia Eagles play going on there.
And again, the tempo with the spread. Almost had Hutch in the neutral zone, and a rare negative play as Arias Finley goes down in the backfield. Gabe Valadez, the senior, great read.
Oh, absolutely. See where he comes from. Oh, it was untouched, basically. They came off the guard side on the left and just was able to just grab Finley and bring him to the ground. That's one of the keys tonight they wanted to be able to do.
Loss of about 7. Now Clark rolls out, and he gets hit as he throws. He's got a wide open receiver, but the hit made it overthrown as there was nobody near number 7, David Morrison.
There was not. He had a wide open look into the end zone, but the pressure from inside. Take another look at it. Here's the pressure from the backside. Oop, I got to get rid of the football. Does a nice job of getting rid of it. Didn't throw it into harm's way, but it could have been 6.
That was number 11, Jackson Anderson, first. Now I think you got a free 5 there, and that's what Hutch cannot do. You've got Derby behind the chains.
Approachment, number 33, defense, 5-yard penalty.
And now you make a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 12. And a little more manageable here for the Panthers. And I believe that was your defensive coordinator there momentarily, Scott Yantis, signaling in. Clark going to roll to his left. And he steps inside of one would-be tackler, slips another tackle, and with his feet, Blade Clark, I believe, is going to have the first down for the Panthers.
Definitely does. This time Clark calls his own number. I think this was a read the whole way. Did not have a receiver. He's looking downfield, keeping his eyes up. Nice cut inside the linebacker there, and then just using his feet to get him to another first down, and now it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 7. And Finley knocked backwards, and then wisely just goes down to not lose any more yardage, and another big loss. 2nd time the Salthawks have gotten to Finley.
They really have, and just nothing but white shirts in front of Finley right there. That play was too slow to develop.
And Hutch getting good penetration, and they make this 2nd and goal from just inside the 15. Clark going to get to the edge with that option. He slipped another tackle, and Clark down just inside the 10. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal. I believe Cameron Wilson finally got there, number 23. Another good read.
Another good read. Good blocks inside. Shucks the would-be tackler in the backfield. Picks up valuable yardage.
Actually, that was Oaken Williams, number 22. So 3rd and goal just inside the 10. Clark rolling to his left. He's got room to run, and then he's going to take a sack. Great job. And there he is again, number 11, Jackson Anderson. I tell you, he was shot out of a cannon.
That is no doubt. Watch him get to the quarterback. Clark goes right by Finley, just blows that block off, and then makes the sack on the quarterback.
So that is going to force Derby into a field goal attempt. Trip Holtzinger, we were told 40-yard range. This will be into a slight wind. It's dying down left hash, 31 yards out. Boy, plenty of distance, and Holtzinger splits the uprights. With 8:07 left in the first, Derby on the board, 3-0, leading Hutch on the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Derby on the board first, 31-yard field goal from Trip Holtzinger. So we'll get to see the Salttalk offense here in a moment. Interception after they recover fumble on the first play from scrimmage by Derby. And again, this kick will come into an ever-dying off wind. We thought it could be a factor earlier in the day. It looks like it's going to settle down and not be a big factor tonight. And looks bad. Larry Jeremiah and also Jeremiah Gato Karanu are back deep. Both very dangerous return men here for the Salthawks. And it's a low line drive. One of the up men, it looks like that's Carmelo Green's got it. Gets to the sideline where he's gang tackled. Pretty good kick coverage there by the Panthers as Hutch will start inside their own 25.
It's got to think special teams could be big tonight. I really do. And kick coverage like that is a big part of it. Can you back your opponent up and give them poor field position to start long drives? We'll see if it really takes a factor tonight.
Yeah, Coach Clark talked specifically quite a bit with us about special teams and the Derby struggles so far. There you see our Derby defense. And now to the ground game. Gato Carano made a nice cut. Still a minimal gain, maybe about 3. And Moalehi Tela Right there, number 41 made the stop. We'll talk about him a lot. Comes in with 58 tackles, 3 for a loss. Also has an interception, anchoring the 4 linebackers for the Panthers in a base 34 defense here.
Definitely keep an eye on number 41. Isaac Nicholas in the backfield as well. It's tough to watch too.
Sweep to the edge is blown up. This time number 14, Brylan Cole, shoots in there, and what you gained, you lost back, plus some.
The Sam linebacker, 6 foot, 170-pound junior, showing off the speed and the single leg takedown right there in the backfield.
Hutch, 3rd and long, in danger of a quick 3 and out. Derby offense got some momentum on that first drive. Hutch doesn't want to give it right back. They need a big play here.
Robert Hunter's got to manage the game right here. Can't afford a negative play.
Don't want to force anything. We're going to work deep into the play clock, and whistles blow. This may be even longer now. No, I think they're signaling offside.
Number 88, defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's going to make it a little more manageable. Looks like they may have got big number 88 there. William Owens lined up in the neutral zone.
Second time for the defense to jump off sides, so they've got to use a little bit more composure here.
You see Robert Hunter was with the Salthawks as a sophomore, transferred out his junior year, and then came back here for the senior campaign. And pressure coming right up the middle, fires an out pass, and it's wide of the intended target, Larry Jeremiah. As the pressure forced, I think, the Hunter throw a little earlier and he wanted to release it, and he'll have to stay on.
It's interesting having your punter as your quarterback or your quarterback as your punter, because there could be situations where he sees things that other folks don't and can find a way to get downfield. Don't think they'll take that opportunity right here.
Yeah, it looks like I think they have Michael Castillo back here to return the punt. Not Finley, in a bad snap. Hunter able to get it down and get it away. And a line drive punt is caught. And then taken out of bounds near the 45 is Michael Castillo. And it was much better, as Coach Clark talked a lot about we need to field punts and not give up the distance, but that was a great job.
It really was, and that could have been an absolute game changer for the Salthawks right there. Great recovery by Robert Hunter.
Yeah, if that goes over his head, the Salthawks would really be reeling. So midway through our first quarter, 3rd possession for the Derby Panthers. Got 3 points on their 2nd possession. There you see Coach Clark urging on his team here as his son Blade Clark, he and Chris Dorsey kind of split time at quarterback. Now they're going to go wide with Finley, and great job stringing that out. He probably is going to get half a tackle, but number 44 again forced Finley back to the inside. That was Ashton Lemons.
Turns him right back into Jackson. Let's take another look at it. Number 11. Levin had turned him around.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Jackson Anderson turns him inside. Great job sealing off the outside. You let Finley get to the outside and into the 2nd level, that's where he causes problems.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Clark rolling to his right. He's got blockers in front. Ran into his own man and then made a good move to get into Salthawk territory and bring up about a 3rd and 3.
Once again, Jackson Anderson in on the tackle. Great pursuit from the backside. Take another look at it here. Boom, cuts right up through the middle, chases him down, doesn't give up on the play, and then makes it.
That's a bulldog there, staying with that play for as long as Anderson did. And now, again, 3rd and manageable. Clark going to get to the edge. He's getting chased from behind, and this depends on the spot and where they're marking it. With the near side line judge, Derby going to be about a yard short.
Brody McHugh, number 10, again, coming off his Sam linebacker position. all the way around the formation to make the grab.
And give the officials, that's a great spot. The knees were down right about that 45-yard line. And Derby will leave the offense out there. Last time they had a 4th and 2, they went with the quarterback sneak. And you might do it here. The linebackers are way off the football for Hutch.
Play clock down to 3. Are they going to get it off in time?
Yeah, Coach Clark right there with the official. I think he got the timeout. He did.
The play clock expiring.
Boy, and he's unhappy.
He's unhappy, but the play looked like it was late coming in.
Or they, well, the White Hat made a delay of game signal. Coach Clark had one of the side judges right with him. I'm not seeing him move the down marker, so I believe they're granting this timeout to Derby. So I expect him to go for this. I just think Coach Clark has the confidence that we need a yard, we can get a yard.
Yeah, I would think with the weapons you have at your disposal that's a possibility. The gamble you take 90% of the time. I think your analytics would say go for it.
Got some other big games going on tonight as well. There you see one already last night, Olathe West over Gardner Edgerton. Boy, Junction City coming off of that big win against Manhattan. The consolation prize, you got to go out to Hayes this week. Blue Valley North, Blue Valley. There you go down. Mill Valley, Shawnee Mission Northwest. That's a big game. So some nice matchups tonight, including this one, 4th and a yard. Finley goes wide, easily has it. He'll step out near the Hutch 40. And the drive will continue for the Panthers.
Yeah, Finley's just so athletic, and the speed he has off the corner. His ability to change those speeds, too, is so deceptive.
5'7", 160. Now he's going to go wide right. He has to cut it back. Broke 2 tackles and a third. Well, I tell you, there's some tough running. And Hutch, boy, they got to be a little more sure tacklers. That should have been a 1 or 2 yard gain, and it ends up being 5.
Yeah, Cooper Harris is going to finish this one off, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, Harris gets him to the ground.
2nd and 5. Derby loves to use this tempo. And I think the pulling guard moved a little early.
False start, number 58. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
I think they were wanting to pull the left guard, Peyton Goebel, on that play, and he got just a little early start, so that's going to make it a 2nd and 10. And Coach Clark can't be happy. I think that's their 3rd pre-snap penalty here in the first quarter. And Clark rolls out. He's going to lob one, and a wide open receiver and out of bounds. Near the 15 is Talon Cunningham, number 16. I tell you, he was wide open.
He was wide open near the sidelines. Just his 3rd reception of the year. But watch this ball. Just dropped right into the bucket. Good pocket presence in there by Blake Clark.
And it snapped. Oh, Finley averted a big loss. He's still going to take a loss. That first move saved some yardage. But there again, number 11, Jackson Anderson, is almost spying those players in the backfield.
Yeah, he leads his team in tackling. Came in with 51 tackles, 23 of those solos, 5 tackles for loss. Watch him just, the ball hawking, though showing the pass down the field by Clark. Just a solid effort. See if they can put something together here on like a 2nd and 11.
That's showing pressure. They give it to Finley. He was tripped up initially, got back inside the 30, down to about the 22, maybe the 23. So 3rd and about 9 coming up. Derby probably in field goal range. I'm sure they'll make a determination after this 3rd down play. Holtzinger's already hit from 31 here in the quarter. And Clark pitched on the edge. Can they run down Finley? He's going to be well short of the 1st down. They went to the short side with the option, and they're going to need 4 yards if they go for it. And it looks like they're hurrying up to do just that. Now, Hutch needs to have that discipline. Don't jump. That's what Clark, I think he's going to use a hard count. Ooh, the right hand almost moved there for the Salthawks.
Finley out on the flank.
He is
flanker
in
position, so interesting to see what they might go with here.
He's in the right slot. And he comes in motion, little fly sweep action. Oh, it's wide open for Clark on the keeper. He'll have the first down to about the 12-yard line. Brody McEwen, number 10, got him down, but what a great play. Everybody went with Finley.
They definitely did, expecting him to get the ball. Great fake by Clark. Boy, I tell you what, there was a lot more green in front of him if he'd have kept it down the sidelines, but great job of fighting off the block there by McEwen to make the tackle.
So 1st and 10 again. And now to the backup running back, a pretty good one in Jamari Jones. He sneaks inside the 10 down near the 7.
Jones with 27 carries, 240 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns this season.
He's a very good second running back for the Panthers, who have about a 2nd and 5. And back to Jones, made a good cut and is stood up at the 5, which will bring up 3rd down and about 3, maybe 2.5. So Finley getting a little break on the sideline. They're in short field goal range, and the tempo continues. This Hutch defense has played almost the entire first quarter. And option to the right. They're going to force the pitch option, and Clark will take it himself for a Derby touchdown. I tell you, in the first quarter, he has made fantastic reads on that option.
That he definitely has. He's taking care of the football, hasn't made a mistake, put his team in jeopardy right here, takes it into the end zone for the first touchdown of the ball.
So that will bring on Holtzinger for the extra point. Snap and the kick executed perfectly here for the Panthers. And again, they have, I'd say we're down a 1:04 mark. I would say they have had the ball upwards of probably 9.5 minutes here in the first quarter. Hutch has only run 4 offensive plays, interception, and then a 3 and out. And they're in desperate need here of putting something together, give that defense, who's really played well. I think even though they've given up 10 points, as we see the touchdown again.
And give credit where credit's due. Pancake block right there, but the offensive line, those big hogs up front, are eating well tonight, setting up some big holes for Mr. Finley to run through, and Mr. Clark as well.
Yeah, from left tackle to right tackle, Max Robinson, Peyton Goebel, Weston Jackson, Jackson Gage, and Kalen Scarth. Doing a nice job up front so far.
Yeah, we don't talk enough about offensive line, but how about Max Robinson, the senior, 6'3", 260. He's been hounded by a bunch of folks. 41 games that young man has started for this Derby Panther squad.
He's the number 4 overall rated recruit in the state of Kansas. That's amazing. As Holtzinger give a pretty good boot to this one, and Gato Carano at the 1. Going to come to the Hutch sideline, has blockers, turns the corner, now it's a foot race, and he gets by the kicker, and Derby will get Gato Carano from behind in Derby territory to the 42, and there's a big special teams play. You talked about it, and the Salthawks deliver it.
Definitely do, and as you take a look at the defensive coordinator, that's Austin Wiechek, and I tell you what, how about this, 13 turnovers, look at that, 10 picks, 4 recoveries, fumble recoveries, and 7 sacks by his defense. He's doing a great job.
And this is something, the way this first quarter has gone, that Hutch, they didn't capitalize on the fumble recovery on the first Derby play of the game. Can they capitalize on this, as Hunter will give it to Gato? Oh boy, did he take a hit at the 41.
Big whack at the 40. I didn't see exactly who. Let's take another look at it on replay, get an idea of who made the first contact here. Kind of a high-low hit right there.
I think it was Brylan Cole was first there.
This is a big series. I mean, obviously they're not going to score in the first quarter, but they're going to get an opportunity. They've got to drive the ball, keep their ball in their possession. Got to give their defense a chance to recover.
Hutch is trying to establish the running game here early, just not enough plays yet. Back to the run game straight ahead and bouncing off a couple of hits. Gaitho Karanu is just a yard short of the first down, and Hutch will let this run down to the end of the quarter, and they'll have a big 3rd down and 1, as it's been a first quarter controlled here in Derby by the Derby Panthers. 10-0 Derby. We'll be back after this break.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of Elite Protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Start of the second quarter, 10-0 Derby, and the Salthawks a 3rd and a yard. On the Derby 34, Gaitho Karanu, boy, I don't think he got there. Big number 88 got a hold of him at the line of scrimmage, William Owens. And Hutch is gonna have to get a yard on 4th.
And watch the penetration. There's first contact. The ball popped out, but I think it was after the knee went down.
Boy, they really didn't give Gaitho Karanu the stretch. He tried to stretch it out that extra yard, but I think they're ruling his knee was down before the stretch. So now this becomes, well, your play of the game so far for the Salthawks. They got to convert this. And they're going to go to an empty set. Watch for a quarterback run here. And Hunter going to try to take it himself, and he'll get the first down. Didn't need much, and he got a little bit more than that as Razion Shears made the hit.
Yeah, watch the hole. It just didn't materialize, but just enough to get the first down.
Oh, wait a minute. Are they saying he did not? Oh, well, we need to see one more look. I thought he was easily past the marker, unless they're going to say he bounced off of a tackle and gave up yardage.
I thought he had it to probably the 33-yard line. Take another look at it. Here it comes. One step. There's the spin move.
Oh, spin forward.
I don't know about that.
He easily had it. He easily had that first down. This is a huge break for Derby. That was not a good spot. And Hutch couldn't believe it. Now the defense back out there, and there goes Clark on the option and breaking tackles again. He's going to get out to the 41 with a official stopping play. We got a helmet off.
Clark just pinballing off guys out there. A lot of guys putting shoulder pads on people and not wrapping up. And that was one of the contentions, you know, the coaching staff was talking about. Talk with Mike Vernon. He's like, hey, we have got to tackle.
And they are having a heck of a time with Clark especially, and Finley. And back to Finley, made one man miss and trying to get to the edge, cuts back to the middle of the field, breaks another tackle, and gang tackled at the Hutchinson 46-yard line. I think Hutch is a little stunned. I don't think they've gotten over that 4th down play yet.
Right, you know, recovering from adversity. We talked about that. And right now, the Derby run game slowly gaining momentum here.
Big offensive line. Hutch doesn't have the biggest defensive line. And they're just pounding it at him. Now Clark wants to go to the air. He gets to the corner, fires it, and oh no, on the juggle. It is incomplete. If Talon Cunningham, he was in bounds, but the juggle took him out of bounds. That's a good call that time.
Yeah, official right on top of it. We saw the line judge coming down the line. Signaling is, yeah, if he catches it, puts a foot in right there on original contact. He's got it. Brings up 2nd long.
I think he was a little concerned about it, where his feet were, and that enabled the ball to pop loose, so just enough for the incompletion.
Well, I said, just would have been his 4th completion of the season.
Now pitch to the edge, and Finley turns it straight ahead. And a good defensive play. This time it looked like that's Valadez again, number 49, for just a gain of a yard.
And again, got to the quarterback quickly, did. Jackson Anderson forced that play to not be successful.
Anderson, the 6-foot senior, just under 200 pounds. A huge 3rd down play. This beleaguered Salt Hawk defense, they got to be getting tired, and they're going to go to a 2nd running back in there. That's playing calls that you're going to go for it on 4th down, as you hand it off that time straight ahead to Jamari Jones.
Brings that 4th and 5.
I think you roll Clark out. And kind of that run pass option that has been working beautifully on the edge with that speed. There goes your empty set. Clark wants a quick pass. Now the hitch and go. And we got players down. I don't see any hankies down. That was way overthrown. Nearest receiver was Jamari Jones. They wanted kind of that hitch and go, and I'm not exactly sure. We'll get another look at it, what exactly happened. But Hutch, regardless, they get a much-needed stop.
Yeah, I think Coach wanted to go. Coach Clark wanted to go for a little knockout punch here and try to put Hutch down early. But that one did not develop like we thought it was going to.
They wanted Talon Cunningham, I think, and he just kind of got tied up with the defender. So the Salt Hawks at their own 41. Hunter back in the pocket, out pass, that was too high for, it looks like the intended receiver this time was Cameron Harris. Actually, that was Larry Jeremiah again. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the interior defensive lineman coming right through that big offensive line, causing all kind of havoc, forcing Hunter to get rid of that ball early.
From what we watched on film of Robert Hunter, he seems to be more relaxed throwing the ball on the move. Now I know he did throw the interception in the first quarter on the move, but from what we saw, that's where he's more comfortable. See if they'll play on that, maybe roll him out a little bit. And heavy pressure coming. Nice job to elude it. And trying to elude a 2nd man, then completes a pass to Gaetho Carano, who's going to get the 1st down. What a job by Robert Hunter to extend that play.
How about a headsy play there by the senior quarterback? He is in the grasp of the defender right there and says, I got an outlet. A little Mahomesy action, would you say?
I would say exactly that. Able to, and Gaetho Carano, nice job not giving up on the play, making himself available for him to get that football out.
Yeah, you saw his arms come open wide, said, here I am.
Gaetho Carano is corralled after the gain of maybe a yard. That's Mason Tele on the stop. We actually found him in the locker room so we could make sure we got his name correctly. Makes a nice play there.
Showing off that speed, coming off his Mike linebacker position.
He was a transfer in or moved into Derby last year. What an addition. He's a junior, 5'11", 195. Hutch a little behind the chains, 2nd and 9. More pressure coming. Hunter rolling out again, looking. He needs to get rid of this football. And he's going to try to get what he can, and it looks like he's going to get back close to the line of scrimmage. And actually, he's going to lose, it looks like, about 3. Boy, Derby really bringing the pressure.
Well, they are. They are just pinning the ears back and bringing it. See right there. Big number 55. Bringing the heat.
And that brings up 3rd down and about 12.
Big play right here for Hutch.
Hunter again, he's got good time this time now. He rolls out, he's going to try to take off. And is going to be tackled well short of the 1st down at the 42. It looks like 4th and 5. And what you have seen in this first half, I almost have a feeling Mike Vernon may roll the dice here, that he knows he needs something good to happen. Down 10-0 to Derby. And that's exactly what it looks like he's going to do, is leave the offense out there.
You got to think, if Derby continues to establish the run game and not turn the football over, they could eat up the clock. How many offensive possessions are you going to get tonight?
Thought maybe they would try a hard count. Play clock is getting late. They do snap it. Hunter in the pocket, trying to escape the rush, directing traffic, and takes a sack back inside the 50.
And there he is once again, Mason Mo'ali'i Tele, showing off the pursuit. Watch the feet on this young man. He can flat out scoot.
Great job running him down. You can see Hunter, he was upset. I think he expected maybe a different route or somebody to come back to the football. And boy, Derby, a big turnover on downs against Hutch. They'll take over at the Salt Hawk 49. Boy, and the Hutch defense, they have played a lot of minutes in the first half. Muster up another stop as they'll go back. Finley trying to go wide right. This is strung out well, and he'll take a loss back on the Derby side of the 50. Number 22, Oaken Williams, finally made the stop, but just credit team defense there. Watch how they stretch this out.
They really do. A lot of pursuit to the football, but you got to keep this thing horizontal, and you close off a lot of running lanes for Arius Finley.
Jackson Anderson, he shot into a gap that prevented Finley from trying to get between the guard and the tackle, forced him outside. And the Panthers 2nd and about 13. Pressure coming. Clark's got time. Then he's hit when he throws it. And it got the receiver turned around. It's deflected and then caught for a touchdown by Rowan Foster off the hands of the defender. It's 16-0 Panthers.
Oh my goodness. What a tip drill play right there. And a phenomenal set of hands by Rowan Foster. Here's an incredible fact about Foster in a stat. He's only had 3 receptions this year and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, with 2 for 112, and now this one from, I think, 52. Oh, goodness, off the hand of Cameron Harris. Foster hauls it in, and Holtzinger will add the extra point as everything here in Derby going the Panthers' way. 17-0 Derby. Take a timeout. We're back after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
17-0 Derby. What an amazing play, I tell you. Great. Give Blake Clark credit. He hung in there, and we're going to see it again. Watch the shot he takes. Then the deflection, Foster able to haul it in, and Cameron Harris can't believe it. As that signals everything going right. And again, 3 receptions now for 168 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season for Rowan Foster. He missed the game earlier in the year due to an injury, and you can see why they love this young man. He's that over-the-top threat. Now the Salthawks try to get something in special teams. They are not going to get an opportunity here. That's a couple of yards deep and an automatic touchback. Do you like that rule in high school?
I guess for the safety of kids, yes, I do. But I'm kind of old school. I love a kid being able to have an opportunity to field it in the end zone and maybe return it 102 yards or whatever the case may be. But mixed thoughts, mixed feelings.
Let him bring it out, I say. Give him an opportunity now. So a long field for the Salthawks, who right now have just struggled to keep a drive going. Turned it over on downs last time. And then Derby, after losing 3, hit the big play. And Robert Hunter, and that's what we talked about. Coach Vernon, in-game adversity. Now has his team responded. Hunter under go down the right sideline and all tied up and trying to reach back for the reception was Lamar Govain. Just blanket coverage back man on man. That was number 30, Jerry Southern. Okay, do I have the right number? Or is that 36? No, that was Jerry Southern, number 30. Great coverage. Going to see if Southern.
Yeah, Southern, the backup corner, sophomore, 5'11", 155. Good wheels to stay with his receiver.
2nd and 10. Back to the ground game. Yeah, nothing doing. Gato Carano trying to get wide left. Then he's going to pitch it to his quarterback. A little ad lib. Hunter's going to end up gaining about 7. I don't think that's the way Coach Vernon drew it up, but a great awareness on that play by Gato Carano.
Yeah, if we had a telestrator, that would be a bunch of zigs and zags and circles, but just great presence on the field to keep your head up and keep your mind in the game, and hey, whatever it takes, right?
Can't you see John Madden drawing that one up?
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
A little of that, and sets up a manageable 3rd down. You need 3. Hunter has some time. He's going to go for a deep shot again and overthrows D'Angelo Gray. And no markers down, and that'll send the punt team on. Boy, I tell you, if we take another look at this, I think Hunter had some real estate right in front of him. He could have run for this.
Yeah, very well could have. Look at the gap being whole right there up the middle, but he throws this thing 45 yards in the air. Great hang time to get the ball elevated. Give your receiver an opportunity to run underneath it. It was just a little bit too far.
So Hunter, again, is the punter.
Well, good decision here. I think you're deep in your own territory. You got to play field position here.
I'll tell you what, this would be time for one of those rugby-style type kicks. And if you can run for it, you do. Pressure heavy up the middle. And it's going to be a short kick. Takes a good Hutch roll and will be down at the Hutch 45. Or excuse me, the Derby 45. Still fantastic field position for the Panthers. And again, it feels like we've seen these 2 units on the field for most of the first half. The Hutch offense, or the Hutch defense against that Derby offense.
And we really anticipated Derby being more of a quick strike offense in the run game, not necessarily in the air. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Clark making a believer out of us here tonight. He can throw the long ball. Some fortuitous bounces have helped him out, but make your own luck.
And 9 of 17, 95 yards, 195 yards coming in. Now he's going to play action. He wants another deep shot down the middle. This is batted up, and I'll tell you, there was Rowan again in the area, Rowan Foster. That almost had a double deflection touchdown written all over it.
Boy, it definitely did. And I mean, the opportunity was there for Devin Morrison. Watch this ball deflect away and then right up in the air and right in front of him. And I think Rowan was letting him know that, hey, you had an opportunity to make that catch.
I tell you, if Morrison locates that, he could have made that catch and run it in. He just didn't know where it went.
Both defenders fell down. He was wide open to the end zone.
So Derby was trying to take a shot. And now the pitch out on the edge. Finley tackled from behind. So I tell you, we've called number 49, Gabe Valadez, quite a bit tonight. And Coach Vernon, again, he referred to him up front that he and Embers had to have a good game. This is a great tackle.
Yeah, Valdez, he's an animal. And just watch his pursuit to the football. Gets whatever he can and brings Finley to the ground.
And does force a 3rd and 12. The Derby Panthers. Clark has stayed with those 4 wides. He's going to roll to the right, looking to throw. It's kind of an RPO. He cuts it up, broke 1 tackle. And, boy, this may tempt Derby to go for it. It'll bring up 4th and 3. Boy, he took another big hit.
Well, if he makes us through this game healthy, it sets up well for Derby, but I'm telling you, he is taking some knocks tonight.
And the offense will stay out there, up 17-0 late in the second quarter, and a timeout will be taken by the Salt Talk defense. Huge 4th down coming up for the Panthers. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more of the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Derby with a 4th and 3 at the Hutch 48. Offense stays out there, and Finley, they give it to him, and he is tackled in the backfield. And there you see an excited number 23, Cameron Wilson, in there to make the stop and a turnover on downs.
Well, we've seen this a lot so far by both offenses, going for it on 4th down and just coming up a little bit short. You think you've got the play that's going to get you 3 or 4 yards, and defense is playing well tonight. You got to think for Hutch, they've got to be spent and looking for a halftime break right here, because that defense has been on the field a lot tonight.
It really has. They need the Hutch offense to put together a drive. Plenty of time, 3:34, a couple of timeouts. Any points at this point for Hutch here in the first half would be huge to give them a puncher's chance in the second half. And they need to get this off quick. They're going to have to burn one of those timeouts right here, and that's just that's inexcusable off of a turnover on downs to get your offense out there just too late to get the playoff.
Yeah, you've got to have those guys ready on the sidelines. You know it's 4th down. You know you're going to have an opportunity to get the football back. Have your play called. Be ready to rock and roll. Did they see something that we didn't see and maybe changing the play? I don't know, but well, you got to be ready for that.
We see both of our coaches in tonight's contest. Again, that's one of our most enjoyable parts of this on Tuesday evenings, when we get to conference call with coaches of the week, and was so gracious to take their time after practice. And well, we usually spend a good 30-40 minutes with each coach, and it could go on for another 20-30 minutes sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Just sure appreciate them in the evenings on Tuesday. So Hutch now with 1 timeout. A little rollout. And Hunter, that's what we have seen on film right there. He throws a dart to D'Angelo Gray for a first down to the 39. Loved the bootleg action, gave Hunter a lot of space.
And with his speed, a naked bootleg out of the backfield gives him a lot of view of the field. You cut down some of the noise. You're seeing just your players. The green of Derby is kind of blending into that background. You got to watch for a guy sneaking out there and snagging one, but I like the play call.
That did stop the clock. And now Hunter rolls the other way. That was a deflected pass, nearly intercepted and nearly caught. Boy, what a dangerous pass that was. I think it was Brylan Cole, number 14, that got the initial hand on it.
Yes, nearly got the pick. There's the tip, the dive. Oh, and he had an opportunity a second time to get that ball.
And Larry Jeremiah almost scooped that off the turf by the fingertips for a completion. So 2nd and 10 for the Salthawks. They have pretty much stayed with a 4-wide look as Derby has, as Hunter again rolling out. This time nothing there. He turns the corner, fires it late across the middle. Dangerous pass is caught for a first down, and he does finally find his big target, 6'3", Larry Jeremiah, number 5.
Boy, it's a no-no to throw the ball back across the field. Watch the arm strength right here by the right hand, just getting up and over the top of the defender, Robert Hunter. Boy, finds his mark.
He takes a shot. He ends up about 6-7 yards out of bounds. But again, ad-libbing, that's what we saw, is when he is at his best, is on the move like that. 2 nice completions. And for the first time, the Salthawks trying to get into the red zone. And Gato Carano made the first man miss, but boy, got just leveled by the second man. That is number 54. Keandre Williams at the linebacking position. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, Dre, great pursuit right there. Just coming off that right side of the line. And again, these Derby backers are so fast.
Much as they should. They're taking plenty of time here. They do want to run the clock some. And now Hunter fires a pass. And was that hauled in? Yes. What a catch by Larry Jeremiah on the Hutch sideline to get I believe, get the first down and set up 1st and goal. Look at the stretch out there.
6'3", 170-pound sophomore. 13 receptions, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. His longest is 67. He's got 2 grabs tonight.
Great job keeping a hand under the ball when he hit the ground. And 1st and goal. And back to the ground game. Gato Carano cuts it down to the 7, maybe just inside the 7. Or excuse me, I think, yeah, that was Carano.
Big hole opened up on the inside. I think Corona just missed it. Needed to cut back inside a little bit more. But again, positive yardage, moving the ball towards the goal line. That's the object of the game.
And if you're Hutch, you're in short field goal range, you got to be thinking about 6 points here to get this down, the margin down to 10 by halftime. You got 3 plays. When you're getting lined up late, I don't know that you want to burn your timeout here. Play clock at 2. That's just got it off. And they're going to throw a fade pattern in the corner of the end zone, and a nice battle. They were trying to go, it looks like this time, to go Vane. And well defended there by Jalen Jackson, number 36.
Yeah, he saw this ball and well in the air, had his eyes back. Had his eyes in the backfield right off the bat. Kept one eye on the receiver and just out-jumped him. And it looked like Jeremiah well above the rim there to come down with it, but couldn't grab it.
Yeah, that was a pretty well-thrown ball. You gave your receiver a chance, and now Hunter rolling to his left. This looked like a design keeper. He turns the corner at the 5 and out of bounds. I think inside the 2.
Watch the pursuit.
Waiting for
we'll get another look at it. Moali Tele, number 41. There he comes out of the defensive backfield from his linebacker spot. Force him out of bounds.
4th and goal at the 2.
This is huge. Hudson needs to put points on the board.
I'm not so sure. At that one timeout in my pocket, I might just use it here and think this one over a little more, because now it looks like you're going to have to rush to get it off. Yeah, they used it. I think that's a wise use. I don't know that you'll need to use one defensively. Use it here, because this could be the game for the Salthawks. If they get in the end zone, just down potentially 10 at halftime, I mean, so much better. You're down 17-0 at halftime, and I'm not to say game over, but boy, it's such a hill to climb. This is play the game for the Salthawks.
Absolutely. You're going to think Derby's thinking blood and water here, and if they can come away with a stop right now, don't allow Hutch to get points on the board. You come out of the halftime with momentum, and your goal tonight was to start off fast coming off the kick at the beginning of the game, come out fast in the second half. Big difference.
Where do you go here? It just feels like you've got to roll Hunter out on this play. Maybe it's the old RPO where he can throw it or he can try to get it with his legs.
I think you keep it in your playmaker's hands. You give him the opportunity.
There is Larry Jeremiah. I think that's Govain split wide left. And they're going to throw a quick slant to Govain, and he's got it for a touchdown. That's Lamar Govain. And the Salthawks on the board make it 17-6. And I like the call. Get out of the hands fast if you're not going to roll him out.
You betcha. Take a look. He just cuts right across the end zone, gets ahead of his defender, puts his back to him, and he's got those big arms, big hands right there to make the catch. Beautiful ball right in the end zone.
It should be Zay Guillen for the extra point. Low kick, and it's through there. So we got 53 seconds left in the first half. And the Derby lead cut down to 10 at 17-7. Now it'll be up to the Hutch defense to try to prevent a late Derby score. Derby does have 2 timeouts. We'll see how aggressive they go with their play calling, as a couple of interesting scores around Rose Hill on top of McPherson, 28-14 at halftime. To see some of the other, maybe some ranked teams showing up here. Andale, they had a 45-0 lead at halftime on Nickerson, and saying running clock started in the second quarter. Maybe that's a new rule. I didn't think the running clock started until the second half, but they're saying it started in the second quarter.
Ouch. Of
that ball game. Wamego 14, Buhler 7. They're in Class 4A. Interesting game there.
Just an interesting thought on that. Let's step back just a second. Hutch had 20 yards in offense before that drive.
Yeah.
Now they have 70. I mean, it's a 51-yard drive. Meticulous, well calculated. Came up with some crafty plays, and their playmakers made plays to make that happen. But still, you got to tip your hat to Hutch right there. That offense needed to score, and they did.
Found some creases with the passing game there. Had a couple, 3 really nice completions. Certainly something you can sit down at halftime and take a look at. And this is going to be a short kick. Taken at the 29. I think that's James. If he gets to the wall, he does. He turns the corner. Then Jamari James broke another tackle. And Derby's going to have an outstanding opportunity. Hutch not wanting to kick it deep, and one of your up men burn you for the Panthers.
No doubt. Probably a touchdown-saving tackle there by Deshaun Adams, number 36. Watch him dive over the top, make the grab right there, and bulldog him to the ground. But an incredible return right there. You're thinking we're going to pooch it to the up man, get an opportunity to drop him deep, but they had different things in mind.
We saw that earlier on the Hutch kickoff. They kicked it short, and now Derby 39 yards to go in 42 seconds. with a couple of timeouts. And give Finley a chance. He broke one tackle, cuts it back, and that's a dangerous sight, but he is down for a loss. And then you'll use your first timeout.
Derby, their second charge.
And I think it was number 22 again, Oaken Williams, called him a lot in the first half.
Watch him come up from his safety position. Just stayed on the pursuit. Nice work right there. Went down to his knees, was able to bumble and stumble over there and make the tackle.
It's a kind of, not that he had kind of the moves, but that's what Barry Sanders would do all the time back in the day. Go one way, and he'd have to go back the other way. And so let's take a look at this. Number 70, Maxwell Robinson, the senior at 275 pounds. There he at the bottom. Number 4 recruit overall in the state of Kansas. Look at who he's being courted by.
I mean, Oklahoma, Auburn, Iowa State, Arkansas, K-State, KU, of course, Minnesota, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt. How about that?
Cyclones
Mizzou,
up there.
Well, and Marshall. My goodness.
The Hogs, Arkansas on there. I tell you what, that's some cream of the crop there. This young man, he is a senior. He's going to have a big decision to make.
Big 10, Big 12, SEC.
Now Clark, a little play action, pressure coming. It's a screen pass, and he has to almost throw it away.
And it got dumped once again. Brandon Clark's taking some punishment tonight.
That sets up a 3rd and 12. With 30 seconds left, Derby 1 timeout.
Scott, I sure like the poise he's playing with, though.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot in the game last week against Mays. Was a little banged up, so I think he may be playing just a little banged up, not quite 100%, but has played a really good first half. And now he's got to get 12 here, or Derby will have a 4th down decision. And Hutch is going to bring pressure again. Clark steps up, and he's going to go for a deep ball. He's got Foster and just overthrown. Well, I tell you, they are letting him play in the secondary. Definitely some contact back there, but Hutch in the pressure forced the overthrow. Now we get the Derby decision here on 4th down.
I think with 23 seconds on the clock, you go for it here, and you may run the same play once again. Go with your big receivers down the field, give them time, but that may not be the decision to fix it happen. I see a lot of substitutions coming in.
Oh boy. This is the field goal unit. This will be with a slight win from the left hash from 58 for Holtzinger. I think Hutch might have been offside. This is a knuckle ball and was just short and left. And
I thought there was an offsides possibly right there, but no flag.
I thought the right end for Hutch might have gotten into the neutral zone before the snap.
Oh,
that was close.
I think it caused Holtzinger to rush it just a little bit. Didn't quite have the leg for that one, but still. I like that they let him try it.
Now remember, in high school, since that reached the end zone, it does not come back to the line of scrimmage. It comes out as a touchback. Oh, I would say Hutch probably handed off once here. Lick your wounds. You feel good about that last drive. You're right in this thing. I wouldn't do anything out of character here with just 17 seconds. And Hunter shows that he's going to throw it. He's going to go deep ball into double coverage and nearly intercepted as going out of bounds. Once again, somebody we've called a lot of here in the first half, Jalen Jackson. Now 10 seconds.
Well, Hunter really threw a pretty ball. I thought it was Larry Jeremiah there for just a second, but I think it was it Cameron Harris down the sideline? No, it was number 5.
It was Jeremiah.
Yeah, it was Jeremiah. He had to turn into a defensive back and make a play, or there was going to be an interception right there. So, what do you think, Scott? Back it up, try it again?
Nope, not this time.
Yep. Going to be content to take that one into the locker room.
And, yeah, the clock is moving. Derby did have a timeout. Hutch certainly wasn't going to go to third down and let Derby use that timeout. And we have reached halftime here in Derby. Derby got the first 17 with a late score by the Salthawks. Good ball game, 17-7 Derby at half. Stay tuned for our halftime show coming up after this break on Your View.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of Elite Protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Do you want a full body workout that stretches, strengthens, and builds your cardio? Then I have a solution for you. Hi, I'm Leslie Sokol, the creator and founder of the Adult Dance and Fitness TV show for the young at heart. Join in with me weekly on your YurView channel and get a great workout. Check your local TV listings. Let's get fit together.
Halftime here in Derby. It's the homestanding Panthers 17-7 advantage on the Hutchinson Salthawks. I welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. Scott Hogan alongside Scott Gurney. Scott, what comes to mind for me is Hutch was able to weather a big-time storm from Derby in the first half. Things just went so poorly early on. Hutch is still in this ball game. That was a great accomplishment.
It really was, and you got to think of the intensity that they were playing with. Very much so challenged to stop that Derby running attack. I would say give them a B+ on their efforts in that first half for as much as they were on the field. Like you said, that's a lot of time and a lot of effort. We'll see what they come out at halftime and how they react to being down by 10. Could have been much more.
Yeah, how important was that last drive for Hutch to get 7 points on the board, converting that 4th and goal?
Oh, it was huge. 51-yard drive. You really pound it down. You get some calls that went your way. You got some great pass looks. You found some open receivers. You used your legs to get open looks and create plays. Everything you want your offense to do, they did for Hutch, and they got into the end zone, and that was absolutely huge. Because if they went in the locker room down 17-0, I don't know if they've got it to come back out in the second half and rejuvenate themselves enough to come back and attack this Derby squad once again.
Yeah, such a crucial drive there for the Salthawks. As here's our Ark Valley Chisholm Trail League standing, and they are brought to you by Keeley Roofing and Construction, where quality meets integrity. Here you see kind of the overall and then the league on one side. May's coming up for us next week against May South. Those two teams, that could be 5-0 against 4-1 next week. Salina Central making a little comeback. It's been a while since they have been up there to the top. What stands out there to you besides Derby at 2-1?
Well, Derby being in the middle of the pack is what stands out to me big time. Is that's just not where we're used to seeing the Panthers at. Probably the other thing, the Andover Central, the Jaguars at 3-1. I know they were state champions last year, but they lost a lot of big weapons to graduation. So Andover Central surprising me a little bit, I guess I should say. But for Hutch, Mays, Derby, May South being right up in the thick of things, no big surprise right there. Only one undefeated team, maybe so.
Yeah. Here's our halftime score. You see the Derby Panther marching band entertaining the fans. Happy fans right now. 17-7 Derby leading Hutch. We got much more. Stay tuned here on Your View.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Welcome back to Derby, Kansas. There's your halftime score, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the notable games across the state of Kansas from last Friday. And boy, there was some big upset. There is one right there at the top in the Silver Trophy Showdown. Junction City takes down number 1 in 6A Manhattan, 28-14. Junction City capitalized on Manhattan's 6 turnovers to reclaim the Silver Trophy. The Blue Jays are now 3-1 under head coach Randall Zimmerman, and they make the long trip out west. It doesn't get any easier. They got to take on white-hot Hayes in Hayes tonight. How about Cedarvale? Cedarvale Dexter in 8-man. They pulled out a thriller in overtime, 28-22, on the game-winning touchdown pass from Cooper Chris to Easton Cole. Spartans are 3-1 on the season. Tonight they host West Elk. There's the Ottawa Cyclones. They entered the night unbeaten, ranked number 3 in Class 4A, but Eudora rallied for the 35-21 victory. Cyclones jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Eudora clawed back to tie it 21 all at halftime into the game on a 35-8 run. The win moves the Cardinals to 3-1 on the season under head coach Drew Steffen. How about down in southeast Kansas? Baxter Springs hosted Parsons. Senior Chandler Henson had a night to remember in the Vikings' 34-14 win over Baxter Springs. Henson carried it 30 times for 405 yards, 5 touchdowns. That, yes, is a new school record. And then, boy, what about in the City League last week? Capon, they trailed by 28 points early in the second quarter, stunned Wichita Northwest in overtime at home. Capon's Ken Huff scored the overtime touchdown to pull their Crusaders within 1 point. And then head coach Weston Schartz for the Crusaders called timeout, but instead of sending out the kicker, decided to double down on the same play that he ran to get the game-winning score. They did it for the 2-point conversion to win it 43-42 at the Stryker Sports Complex. Crusaders handed the Grizzlies their first loss of the season and gave Capon the outright lead in the City League championship race. So quite a week last Friday night, and here's the rankings that reflect that. Boy, Mays up at top. Manhattan fell down to number 5. They slipped Junction City up there, and then Northwest fell all the way out of the 6A rankings. 5A, fairly similar. You got Hayes, Great Bend in there at 3 and 4. Again, we mentioned Hayes, Junction City tonight. Capon, well-deserved, up at number 1 ahead of Miege. There's Andover Central after that opening week shutout loss to Hutch. Moved their way back into the rankings. Andale, no surprise. They got Nickerson tonight. Oh, boy. And the rest of 3A down there. We'll move into the smaller classes. My poor alma mater Lions has to play number 1 southeast of Saline tonight in Class 2A. There's Nemaha Central. They're Oyst there. And Hoisington moved into number 5. How about 1A, maybe the most competitive class of all? Holton Jackson Heights at number 1 there locally. Sterling undefeated. They play a really good Medicine Lodge team tonight. And then Centralia actually eligible to play 6-man by their enrollment. They still play 11-man 1A football. And there's your 8-man Little River up to number 2. They and Central Plains will have a big matchup a little bit later in the year. Axtell, why not? You won it 4 years in a row. You're going to be ranked number 1 until somebody beats you. And then little Hutch Central Christian quietly off to an undefeated start in 8-man Division II. And that's your rankings. And then your remaining unbeatens. There you only got 1 in 6A and 4A. Mays and Capon. We're going to see Mays next week against Mays South. And there's 5A. You got Great Bend. Liberal quietly undefeated. No surprise there in Aquinas. Andale heads a nice list of undefeateds in Class 3A. And we'll look on down a little further. 2A, ton of those left. A lot of area teams there in Central Kansas. Ellsworth, Haven, Hoisington. And 1A, we already mentioned Sterling. They're a local team in that area. Marion, Smith Center. And no surprise there year in and year out in Jackson Heights. And then a lot left in the 8-man leagues. There you see the Little River Linden, really good school. South Central has been really good recently. And then Axtell heads that list in 8-man Division II. And the lone undefeated down there in 6-man is Ingalls. Cunningham has suffered a loss this year. They're going to actually go up to 8-man next year. An interesting transition. How about this guy? I love this. The top 15 recruits. As we're going to go through them, you're going to see a lot of Jayhawks and Wildcats on there. Of course, Ian Premer changing one Bend for the other, Great Bend to South Bend. And then you got Maxwell Robinson. We're going to see him tonight. He is undecided where he's going to go here from Derby. Everybody else on that top 5 list going to be a Jayhawk next year. We'll see Hunter Higgins next week. And there is some Jayhawk Wildcat. How about Arlie Morrell out of Pratt? He's going to go and be a Colorado State Ram. John Michael Fountain still hasn't decided yet. Very talented young man. We saw him against Junction City. And Josh Galbraith going to KU. There's Nate Sims, Tyron Parker, Jalen Mason. We've seen him already this year. All going to be Jayhawks. LaMarcus Barber out of Mill Valley going to go to K-State. Saw a couple of Cyclones. They're doing a nice job recruiting the state of Kansas here in recent years. There, Drake DeBon at a Shawnee Mission South. Anybody on there stand out to you, that list?
John Michael Fountain is peculiar to me because, like you said, we saw him already, and he was great on defense in the first half. They switched him to offense in the second half and just ran off and left everybody with a game. I think he had I want to say 5 touches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, something.
In the fourth quarter.
In the second half, but mostly in the fourth quarter. Really put the game on his shoulders and took off running. So I know it's early in the season, but looking at some of these quality 4 and 5 and 3-star recruits, great job by KU. Really pounding it in state, getting those guys signed and getting them on board. And a few of them squeaked through to go out of state, especially Iowa State. How about the Notre Dame youngster? Just shows you how good football has become in the state of Kansas.
Build local by keeping local kids local. We're at halftime here in Derby. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with your first half stats and highlights when we return after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident, it was not your fault. Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Some look at some of our great first half highlights.
Well, it started off right here by Robert Hunter, just finding a way to get a receiver open, and boom, he throws an interception. That came right after the fumble. And then you see the defense rising up, taking down Arius Finley right there. How about the run? Take it into the end zone. Blake Clark gets the first 6 points of the ball game off that little 7-yard run, and then Finley does what Finley does, and that's just being elusive and hard to get down. And we turn right back around. The defense comes on, but how about this nifty play by Robert Hunter, finding an open receiver and getting the ball completed and out of danger. Moali Itela finding a way to get defensive. And then how about this play? Sometimes you just create your own luck, and that's just bad luck for Hutch right there, but a great play to come down with the football. Willen Foster just keeping his head in the game and his eyes on the football. Had another opportunity later in the game to do the same thing, and then Hutch, that big 51-yard drive, capped by this touchdown pass into the end zone to Govain was huge.
Well, here's a look at your Cox Fast Stats, giving football fans the latest stats courtesy of Cox. You can learn more at cox.com/internet.
Scott, you look at these numbers, you think, oh, this is a blowout. Derby is blowing Hutch out. It's a 17-7 ball game. 105 yards rushing, 89 in the air, a total 194. And then you look on the other side, 15 yards rushing, just 55 yards passing, mostly in that last drive, 70 total yards. And the number for first downs aren't that far apart. So this still could go either way. Hutch has got to come out and make big strides. Got to stop the football.
Field position. That was so huge in favor of Derby. I think that's why some of those numbers maybe a little bit more in their favor. They had several opportunities at, short fields, 50-yard-ish.
You bet.
But the Hutch defense able to get just enough stops.
Well, we talked about it pre-game. Special teams, it's got to be special tonight, and it has been.
We're going to take a break and more of your halftime festivities here on the Game Time High School Game of the Week on Your View.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
This is important news for people implanted with a spinal cord stimulator for chronic pain relief that malfunctioned, causing serious complications or even death. The FDA has reported thousands of adverse events. If you've been implanted with a spinal cord stimulator and suffered any of these complications, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you're eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Panthers up on the Salt Talk 17-7 here in Derby at halftime. Well, we mentioned the schedules. For you see the early schedule there for Hutch. Very winnable games coming up with Campus at home, at Newton. Newton can be tricky on the road, and then Mays South off to a good start. That's how the Hutch regular season will end. We'll see Mays South and Mays next week. That's the way Hutch's schedule plays out for you on the other side of the equation. Let's see how Derby's schedule, and that's a couple three could be tough tests. Valley Center on the road. Valley Center's got a good team. So does Mays South. We've seen Bishop Carroll looked impressive last week against South. So boy, got to hold serve tonight. So far, so good for Derby, up 10 at halftime. But again, they're going to have to keep playing Derby football, you know, to try to get in one of those upper seeds. Remember the 6A, 5A, you all seed East and West 1 through 16, higher seed host, and then you go. So it's important to get inside that top 8. You like to get inside that top 4. 2 losses going to be hard at 6A, but only 1 undefeated in 6A as well. That's Mays right now, so you never know if you go out 7 or 6-2, what might happen.
Well, who would have thought Junction City and Manhattan would have turned out the way it did? But so that's why they play the games. You never know what can happen on any given Friday night.
Well, and then the Wild Wild West in 5A. I tell you what, we just talked about Liberal undefeated. You got Hayes, they're playing Junction City tonight. You got Great Bend out there. Put Hutch in there. I mean, that is a wide open part of the classifications is 5A West. So again, remember Hutch deferred to start the game, so they're going to get the football. Scott Hogan with you alongside Scott Gray tonight. We're in beautiful Derby. Unseasonably warm October weather. The last couple of weeks, most of September has been in the upper 70s, some upper 80s we've had.
Those 65-degree mornings are pretty nice.
Oh, I love those. So I got to pop all the windows at night, and it is about 70 in the house in the morning. It's just perfect, perfect, perfect. As Holtzinger, this direction, the last kickoff, he was able to get a touchback That's what he's going for here, and it will be returnable from just inside the one, Gato Carano. And good coverage. He's going to go down. That's even better than the touchback. Hutch will have a long field from their own 15, and then a flag way after the play comes in. So Hutch is either going to be really pinned back, or Derby, did they give Hutch a break?
Yeah, some extracurriculars happened after that play, and maybe the second guy who usually gets caught may have gotten nabbed for this one. Let's see.
And we haven't heard much since the first quarter from our referee, Rick
play,
Ruman.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 28, offense. Half the distance to the goal from the dead ball spot. It'll be Hutchinson's ball, 1st and 10.
So unnecessary roughness on the Salthawks. Boy, bad situation worse. You're going to start at your own 8. And boy, I tell you what, it's an opportunity for that Derby defense to really turn the game if they could force a 3 and out, get a short field again. So we didn't see exactly what happened, but losing their composure just a little bit. There's Robert Hunter. Made some good decisions in the first half. And they're going to try to go a little fly sweep, and this is losing yardage back inside the 5. Carmelo Green just had nowhere to go, and big number 99, Houston Bolin in there.
Yeah, I don't like the play call. I think you got to get out from underneath the shadow of your own goalpost before you try maybe an end around or something here that, boy, that just didn't work. And now you're pinned back even deeper.
Zion Shears, number 15, also in there. And yeah, now you're at your own 3. Yeah, I don't go on east and west back near your own goal line. That is tricky.
And Scott Derby's been pinning their ear back on defense anyway and coming at you.
And lost about 5, so this snap will be in the end zone. Hunter wanted a quick pass, deflected, and boy, I don't know, miscommunication. Both receivers were running down the field.
Yeah, I think there was a receiver in the area that was crossing the pattern, trying to get both defenders. I like the routes. You got 2 defenders taking their man deep, and then you cut another receiver underneath, but it just didn't develop. And I think it was it D'Angelo Gay or Govain cutting through to the other side.
So boy, 3rd and 15 from your own 3 for the Salthawks. And we'll see how aggressive the play calling is. Hunter back in his own end zone, pressure coming, got it away. It was picked for a touchdown. Oh my goodness, Amarian Houston takes it into the house, and what a start for the homestanding Panthers here. They get a defensive score to start the 3rd quarter.
Boy, definitely. Like I said in the first half, you know, Derby made their own breaks and their own luck, and this time they do the exact same thing. The pursuit was tenacious, forcing pressure on the quarterback, made him get rid of it, had the completion, and then boom, out of the hands, 6 points, and splash of a second later.
Yeah, you thought with Hunter getting rid of it, you'd avoid a disaster, and then Govain got hit. It came loose and into the end zone. As this will take you to our break. Let's watch the pick 6. The tip and into the end zone. Panthers up 17.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
A defensive score for the Panthers. There you see him, number 8, Amarian Houston. Johnny on the spot. able to get the deflected pass off the hands of Lamar Govain, and the Panthers a defensive score. That is a huge lift for this Panther team.
Oh, absolutely, and it just goes right back. You make your own breaks, you make your own luck. You've got to execute, and right now Derby is firing on all cylinders. Hutch is struggling to get something going on the offensive side of the football.
Second turnover for the Salthawks. Remember, they got a Derby fumble on the first play from scrimmage for Derby, and then they turned it over on their first play on an interception. And here comes Agato Carano, excuse me, that is Robert Hunter back, and he spun around. I tell you, kick coverage on these last two kickoffs for Derby have been impressive, pinning Hutch inside their own 15 on both occasions.
They definitely have, and take another look at it. Here's the bobble, the tip out of the hands from behind. That caused the fumble, and I think it was at 36.
That was Jalen Jackson that tipped it away, and right there was Amarian Houston to scoop it in. There you see.
The sophomore, Jalen Jackson right there, and I think we're going to have another quarterback, because I believe
did Hunter's
Robert
come
Hunter
off?
I thought he got taken off the field. He was down after that. He is back on the field. It looked like he was cramping up, but he is back on the field.
He's back on the field, and the Salthawks for the second straight time a plus 85-yard field. Hunter, one-handed catch on the snap. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He's going the wrong way. Throws this up for grabs. Intercepted again. And a flag down. I think it's going to be illegal touching. I think an offensive lineman for Hutch tipped it or touched it first. So what a disaster. Robert Hunter had been making good decisions. That would not be one of them.
It definitely would not. Boy, coming out of halftime, this is not what you want to see your quarterback doing. And let's get to the word from a referee.
This, in my opinion, it looked like a Hutch offensive lineman touched it first.
Regardless.
There is no foul for an illegal touch by the lineman.
You're right, Scott. Illegal touching is the call.
When he let go of the ball.
How about
the result of the play is an interception. Derby's ball, 1st and 10.
Pressure right there by, I think it was 15. I may be wrong.
Yeah, right in the face. I'm not almost sure that that wasn't a hit to the face of Hunter. Official right there ruled it hit the shoulder pad. Yeah, that was number 15 applying the pressure.
Raison Shears Montgomery, yes.
Yeah. And now there he goes. Arius Finley, a race to the corner. He's going to win that every time, but hold everything. It may come back. One of the side judges has got a hold on Derby.
Holding, number 73, offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay,
and that's a big penalty.
Yes, it is. It gives that Hutch defense a little breathing room as they need to find a way to muster up, forcing a field goal attempt here for Derby to try to stay in this thing here early in the third quarter.
And the Hutch defense has been taxed the entire game so far. They have been on the field a lot. And if they can come up with a stop right here, it would be huge.
They mustered some stops in the first half. Now Blade Clark going to run that option, but I think they're going to back up 5 more, excuse me, a false start. Kind of the way the first quarter started.
Number 58,
for the Panthers. I think there are 2 previous
remains first down.
False starts. We're in the first drive of the game, or the second drive.
Yes, first and second drive of the game.
So now it's a first and a goal from the 16-yard line for the Derby Panthers. It was homecoming tonight, a little bit longer halftime for you. And a big crowd as always. Now Blake Clark's going to be a reverse. He's got linemen in front. 5 and into the end zone. Michael Castillo and Derby into the bag of tricks. They go up 30-7.
Well, good play call right here. Got the misdirection. I think everybody was following the back and the quarterback, and to swing the receiver around on the reverse, just a smart play call at the right time.
And boy, you could not draw up a worse start for the Salthawks here in the second half. As Holtzinger pushes a high extra point wide right, so no good. That's the only thing that hasn't gone right for Derby here to start the third quarter, as they lead the Salthawks 30-7 here on the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
30-7, Derby leading Hutchinson here early third quarter. As Holtzinger will kick things off already for the third time here in the quarter. And Hutch moving the return man up a little bit. They're going to let this go over their head. And yeah, the 20 doesn't sound very good, but considering it was the 8 and the 13 the first two drives, let's look at the touchdown again.
Well, Finley making a difference without touching the football. They've been going with that play all the first half on the option, and this time coming around, Castillo catches it on the reverse, just trots in for the score. But both of those last touchdowns triggered by defensive interceptions. The defense for Derby is playing exceptional, but the decision making, and I understand he's in duress, he's in the end zone, got to make a play, you're trying to make a play, you're the senior leader on that team. Boy, he's just been disastrous so far for Mr. Robert Hunter in the second half.
So I try to get Gato Carano doing and nothing doing. Yeah, it looks like number 55 in there this time, Carter Valentine.
6-foot junior, comes in at about 240 pounds. Really explosive off the football.
It was a good loss of a couple, 2nd and 12. Yeah, 2 tip passes, one for a pick 6, one set up a 1st and goal. Now Hunter gonna roll to his right, pressure coming, he gets to the edge, needed to get rid of it, and out of bounds he goes.
He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, Scott, on that, but you can see the pursuit, flushing him out, and now Hunter's limping, coming back towards the huddle.
Yeah, the tackle actually, I think it was in the process, but it looked like it was made out of bounds. Let's see, I did not see a flag. It was definitely taken down out of bounds.
Yeah, there's the pursuit right there by Montgomery, just staying after the football. This Derby defense is tenacious, I'm telling you.
So it's a 3rd down and 12. Touchdown, well, it's still technically 3 scores at 23 points. They need to somehow harness what they did on that last drive of the second quarter for their touchdown, and they've been unable to get anything going here in the third. And pressure up the middle, Hunter eludes it, and he's going to go a deep ball into double coverage, and oh, Derby beat Derby that time as one of the defenders, I think that was Isaac Nicholas, jumped right in front of somebody playing center field there. It had been an easy interception.
Absolutely, and that ball just kind of died when it got there. It had great velocity coming off the toss. As I believe that's Robert Hunter down on the ground working out a cramp he's been having in that leg. But that ball just floated up there, caught too much air, and then slowed down. And your wide receivers running down the field. You got 2 defenders in the area that could have made that interception. Could have been 3 possessions in a row. But Derby picks one off. But now we'll see. Take another look at it here. Nice avoidance by of Montgomery right there, and then you see going quickly down to the ground. Watch this ball. Oh.
Yeah, I think he would have had his second here in the third quarter. It was Amari Houston. It was just ready to catch that ball, and I believe, again, it was Nicholas jumped in front of him. And boy, it's a bad sign when your best possession in the third quarter is -2 and a punt for Hutch. But and now Derby, with an unhappy head coach, is going to take a timeout before the punt.
Their first of the half.
I think they have 12 men on the field.
Well,
you count helmets here.
And we count helmets down there. We'll find out.
I'm thinking.
I think they did. One just ran off.
Yeah, I think Montgomery should not have been on the punt receiving team, but it's going to be Drayden Hippen coming on to do the punting duties. This Hunter is off the field right now dealing with those cramps. And then to get some liquid in him, they're going to need to depend on him. We don't know much about Trammell Walker, the backup quarterback, a senior at 5'11", 160. He's had a few opportunities to get into the game, or get into games, but not this one yet.
Yeah, we did confirm counting bodies. They did have 12 out there, so it wouldn't have been a first down for Hutch, but I think Coach Clark feeling a chance for a knockout blow on a low snap. Punt just got away. Signaling for a fair catch and then thinking about fielding it, and now doing so was Michael Castillo, but again, he signaled for a fair catch. So I think even once he fields it after doing so.
Got 2 flags down on the play, Scott.
And we have one back at the line of scrimmage.
They may have waved off.
I think they just blow the play dead. I don't think that's actually a penalty if you run with it. But I do believe that fair catch still applies, even if you don't catch it on the fly. That's just a dead ball there. And it's a good thing for Hutch because Castillo had all green in front of him. Now the officials huddle. It's a pretty long huddle for a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was a play in the middle of the field I think it's going to be unnecessary.
The receiver gave a fair catch signal. The ball's dead where he caught it. During the play, we had personal foul, illegal low block against the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the dead ball spot. 1st and 10, Derby.
We had looked like a chop block on Hutch. That's a major penalty. I think they're going to add it to the end of the run. So here's your fair catch. And then off the second hop, Castillo picks it up, and then they blow it dead right there.
Yeah, I think they're going to tack on 15 here, are they not?
And then they'll, yeah. And I think I did see, I think they got Taylor Riemann for Hutch long after the whistles. Castillo was still running, kind of gave him a shot in the shoulder. And that'll move the ball down to the Hutch 27. Here's that option on the edge. Pitch to Finley, and a great open field tackle out there by number 6, Cameron Harris.
Cameron coming up from his corner position. He's going to break down, make a great tackle here in just a few minutes. I'll tell you what, to get Finley in space and make a tackle on him, it's a feat.
Well, how do you stop any kind of option, whether it's the old veer style or that open option? It's assignments. Somebody's got to be on the quarterback side. The pitch man.
You betcha.
And Hutch was right there, and now it looks like 5 on a false start.
False start
against the Panthers.
Number 58, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's the 4th one of the ball game by this offensive line.
So that makes a 2nd Yeah, it looks like about 16. Finley lost the yard on first down. Derby offensively, they've looked a little sluggish with the exception of that reverse play here in the third quarter. Finley in motion, they fake the fly sweep, and Clark on a keeper. And again, an open field tackle made this time by Oaken Williams, number 22.
Yeah, Oaken Williams has been great getting to the football. He's got great pursuit skills. Watch him just kind of weave between the defenders or the offensive players and get to the football.
And that sets up a third down. It looks like about 15 for Derby. And Clark rolling to his left. The lefty fires a pass and a diving attempt. Foster haul it in? And another official comes in and says, no, it's incomplete.
The second official is going to get booed for this one because Derby Panther fans say, I think he caught it. Let's take another look.
Oh, that angle.
I think he caught the football.
Oh boy, did it move at the last at all? It was hard to tell. Great effort by Foster. I think Seekerly wanted to keep that touchdown streak alive. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns. That would not have been a touchdown. But yes, if the officials had the luxury of the replay, I think he might have caught that football. That was close.
Yes, it
was. Very
was.
close. So now Derby will leave the offense out there. Empty backfield for Clark, 4th and 15. Pressure comes, he got drilled again, and man, wide open, Castillo, touchdown Derby. Oh man, Clark has been taking a beating, but throwing some dimes out there.
Boy, he definitely did. Just right down the seam. They have not exploited the middle of the field tonight so far, but that time, watch Brandon Clark go to work right here. Under duress. Spits a seed out. Right down the middle, Castillo making a great catch, rumbling and stumbling into the end zone.
Well, and if you're Hutch, how do you get beat down the middle of the field on 4th and 15? Great route by Castillo, just right between defenders, and now it looked awkward, but Holtzinger able to back. And it's 37-7 Derby. Remember, folks, this was a 17-7 game at halftime. You've had a defensive score on a deflected ball. He had another interception on a deflected ball, set up a 1st and goal for Derby. And then that one off of the short punt. It's been a disaster for the Salthawks here in the third.
Boy, it really has. And for Hutch, anything that could go wrong has. And saw the Clark just finding a way to make a play, not paying attention to the beating that's fixing to come. Like the poise, like the effort. There he is right there. Coach's son. A lot of times they get coached up more than anybody on the field. And Coach talked about it. He said, it's a hard decision. He had to earn it. He can't just get it because he's the coach's kid. You know, he's been kind of waiting in the wings for a little while, but he's been behind some dudes as well. So,
well, he credited his assistant coaches a lot with his son. You know, I need your input when you feel like, and it's not just me. When do you guys feel like he's ready to be the starting quarterback? He gave his assistants a lot of credit in that decision.
Yes, he did. I think he made the call. I mean, it was his to make. Who was going to start? Who's going to be the guy? But again, listen to the people around you. That's why you surround yourself with good people.
Forget about this one. 5 yards deep. Hutch will start at the 20. Down 37-7. It's hard to know where to start if you're Hutch. I mean, it's like a deer in the headlights right now. It's been such a disaster here. And we haven't even played 5 minutes of the third quarter. And the Salthawks have gone from just 10 down to down 30.
And I think right here, you just got to look for some consistency right here on this drive. Can you move the chains can you get some consistency out of your offense? It's going to be a lot of it up to that big front line of theirs to hold Derby back, but the blitz packages that are coming by this group is insane. You saw right there the offensive coordinator, Justin Spencer. He's the guy calling the plays out here.
Gato Caranu, one of his best runs of the evening off of right tackle. Took a shot, got out to the 29, sets up second down and a yard. That time they collapsed the edge really for the first time tonight.
That they did. Great extension off the end. Was able to sit off the linebacker that worked right there and was able to extend the play and get into the secondary.
That is something that Coach Vernon, he stressed, to have a chance to win, they had to establish enough of a run game to take the pressure off of Robert Hunter. Unfortunately for the Salt Hawks, they've been behind on that scoreboard the entire ball game. And now first down, getting to the edge, another nice run. Well, Gato Caranu, as he's out of bounds near the 40 with another Hutch first down.
There's the consistency I talked about. Now, can they extend it and to keep moving the chains? Good run there and big time tackle on the sidelines. Took a little offense to that little extracurricular in the Derby sideline over there. And I don't blame them.
That's at their own 39. This entire quarter's been played inside the Hutch 40, a lot of it inside their 20. Now the toss sweep, this has not worked well all evening, and it doesn't here. They have just not been able, Derby too fast to the edge to get around the corner.
They're just, you're like you said, too fast. Mason, well, I think he was in on that. Of course, number 14, that's Brylan Cole. But he's been on a lot of plays, and this is not a good sign for Hutch here.
I think Dalton Hornback, number 11, was also in there. And now, as you saw, Carano, he may be cramping as well. We've seen Hunter fighting it. And was this...
Timeout, Hutchinson.
I think Hutch had to burn a timeout there.
Their first charge to the half.
Yeah, Hutch got the timeout, their first one of the half. And again, they've got some good things going, but now health is maybe entered into it. If you're number one running back, can't stay on the field, it's going to be tough. Jeremiah Gato Carano, he's been being courted by Lincoln University right now. We'll see how those recruiting things pan out.
Division II school up in Nebraska. Well, Andale, who played with a running clock in the second quarter tonight, 45-3 over Nickerson. A lot of young kids played in that game. So that Andale train keeps a rolling. So does Sterling, 47-10. They beat pretty good Medicine Lodge team tonight to stay undefeated down in Class 1A. Well, Hunter corrals a high snap, and he's getting out of trouble. Rolling to his left. Now going to cut back to the middle of the field. And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe +1. You can see the frustration.
Yeah, looks like they're going to give him a yard on the pickup, but he ran 40 to get it. And again, the protection broke down. He had to find his way into the skirting of the football field here and get out of harm's way.
Well, you can tell he's wanting to go down the field a little bit, and he's just not had the time for those routes to develop down the field.
Yeah, I think they've got to look for some crossing patterns across the middle, maybe some 10 and ends, maybe some plays just right by the sideline. Get him more comfortable.
Pressure off the edge. He eludes that, and boy, he's just going to live to fight another day. He'll go down, and I think maybe getting credit with the sack is Razion Shears.
Watch number 9. There he is right there. Just about had it. Number 9, Taylor Washington, coming in off the edge.
I think also big number 99, Houston Bolin, was in there. You had your choice. I'm not sure who will get the sack there, and it puts Hutch back inside their own 30. And we're not going to see Hunter. We're going to see Drayden Hippen to punt it away to the dangerous Michael Castillo. He's made his presence felt here in this quarter. And he might have an opportunity if he can get back and catch it. And can't get out of the sure tackling arms of Oaken Williams in special teams for the Salthawks. And this is by far the worst starting field position for Derby. Their own 39, especially here in the third quarter with 5:19 left.
Definitely. Scott, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Austin Wietrich, the defensive coordinator for Derby. He has called a phenomenal game. The blitz packages he has come with has absolutely catch the Hutch offense completely off guard. They really just have no idea which way it's coming from.
Yeah, even when Hunter has been on a designed rollout, they've still gotten to him, really with the exception of that one drive. And now play action. Clark looking down the field. He's got Castillo deep. He's going to go up the sideline and coming back to make the catch, David Morrison at the 37. But on the replay, you will see Castillo way behind the defense in the middle of the field. Clark was kind of targeting Morrison the whole way.
Yeah, great back shoulder pass.
And now the quick run. Now Finley doing a little Barry Sanders-ish moving around and is going to get upended. And now tempers flaring. Pair of number 10s there for each side. Officials get in there. No hankies down.
And that's surprising. I really thought there might be some flags thrown on that one. Both players getting tied up, but officials got them separated. So you can see what it is here. Just taking him down.
Now a little read option. There goes Clark up the left sideline. Nice job to stay in bounds and get the first down. And now flags down and things are getting out of control.
Well, this is not what you want to see on the sidelines. There's flags everywhere. Hutch players are actually kind of trying to keep their own players away from the Derby players, but I'm telling you what, tempers are flaring, and this is ugly, Scott.
Yeah, there was, you mentioned it, there was a couple Hutch players trying to get their own players out of this melee to not make it get worse. I mean, I think we got at least 3 flags down on the side. Now I see a 4th. I'm not sure anybody's got one left in the pocket.
Yeah, Clark, I think, was actually knocked down on the sidelines by his own player who came in to kind of protect him, and that may have been what spurred everything on. As we're taking a look at a monitor here, so we may get some ejections out of this.
Yeah, I can't tell. There was some close to punches being thrown. Or the initial flag is going to be, I think, for a tackle out of bounds on Blake Clark. I think McEwen. It wasn't very late. I think that's what the initial flag. Let's see how far he was out. You know, there's not much there really. And it could have been just a little taunt maybe was the flag. And here's where things get out of hand.
And you can see right there, 23 helping 10 up the floor, but just trying to help him get up and off the field. And then, oh my goodness, Arius Finley was fired up. The coach is holding him back. I think he was punched. So they're going to have a while to sort this one out.
Yeah, this may take a little bit. Officials are huddled. Both teams are huddled. Certainly frustration on that Hutch sideline. Again, this was a 10-point game when the second half started. It's just gone so quickly south on the Salthawks. You know, it's boiling over. I think Mitchell had a notepad out there to keep track of everything.
Yeah, we were waiting the call here. This could be interesting. I'm going to talk to head coaches out on the field right now. And they're looking at a notepad and numbers.
Yeah, and if you get ejected here, remember you're going to have to sit out next week, at least a half. As we see everything happening again. Boy, it's just hard to tell. You just see when it looks like it's going to calm down, somebody else pushes somebody, and then that gets 2 or 3 more people involved. And you got to give the officials a lot of credit there. They were getting between players. They kept this. It was an eyelash away from getting really, really ugly down there. There's actually some security down there on the sideline now, on the Derby sideline, behind everything. And I think just to make sure. But yeah, that is not one you want to see at any level, especially here at the high school level.
Definitely not.
And they've talked now with head coach Brandon Clark and our referee Rick Ruman. He's going to now go talk with Mike Vernon. Probably explain everything, what's going on.
Like I said, it might be interesting to see if there are some ejections in this. I don't see anybody heading to the locker room yet, so we will see.
I don't know. In high school, do you have to leave the field? Yeah, is that
I think we're going to have a couple here. I think Rowan Foster and, that's Max Robinson headed to the locker room. That's huge.
Yeah, two of your big players we talked about. Robinson, the number 4 overall recruit in Kansas as a senior. Looks like his evening, and Rowan Foster, who's got a touchdown reception in the ball game, both heading to the Derby locker room.
There are 2 unsportsmanlike personal fouls on both teams. They offset. Number 55, White. Number 10, White. Number 70, Green, has been disqualified. Number 10, Green, has been disqualified. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Derby.
We confirmed the ejections for Derby. I heard numbers mentioned for Hutch.
So 10 and 55.
10 and 55 for Hutch, I believe, was the, we'll look at that here after the play, as Finley on that stretch play broke tackles. Flag comes flying in. Finley's going to get near the goal line. He'll be upended, it looks like, at the 4, but where that flag came in, and we may have a hold. So I think you got Brody McEwen and Josh Anguiano.
Holding, number 3.
Definitely was a hold coming back.
Number 3, Green, holding.
Penalty
10-yard penalty
against
from the spot of the foul.
Derby. I see Michael Castillo, a big catch, touchdown catch in this game, and you're going to see quick whistles and quick flags from here on out after that from the officiating staff.
Yeah, they're going to try to get on top of things quick. They don't want this thing to escalate any farther than it already has. And both teams have to be real careful here.
There's that option to the edge. Clark, late pitch to Finley. Good catch. And Finley trying to reverse course and not able to. Jackson Anderson right there. So after the penalty loss of 10, that play will lose about 4 or 5 more.
Yeah, I think it's real careful. Got to be real careful for Mr. Finley right here. During that kind of a scrum over on the sidelines, Coach Clark was right there trying to calm Mr. Finley down. So let's hope his emotions don't get carried away with him before this one's over. Or anybody else for that matter. We don't need more kids ejected from the ball game.
Yes, 2nd down and 19 for Derby. They're working time off the clock. Now play action. Clark steps up, fires down the middle of the field. He's got Castillo with an over-the-shoulder catch. Touchdown, Derby. Oh, wow, what a perfect pitching catch. Blade Clark, Michael Castillo, what a pretty pass that was.
And then a flag for celebration in the end zone is going to come out. But, you can't take anything away from the pitch and the catch. Castillo, phenomenal hands in the end zone. My goodness, that's a special play.
It doesn't matter if Clark's getting blasted as he throws it or he's got a clean pocket. He's delivering some dimes tonight to these receivers.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3, Derby, taunting. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
We're told Michael Castillo has scored these last 3 touchdowns for the Derby Panthers, and this one, people are not going to believe if they tune in and see the score of this game, that it was 17-7 when this quarter started.
Start, number 85.
And now another
offense,
penalty on
5-yard
Derby. This is a false start
retry.
on the extra point. So Holtzinger will have to back up 5. We actually saw Derby allow him to try a 58-yard field goal attempt. Back in the second quarter, it was short and left, but it wasn't a long way short. And now the extra point try is fumbled, and they're going to flip it out. I think a lineman who had lined up, I think, as an eligible receiver, and the extra point no good. Have another look at this touchdown.
I'll tell you what, just an absolute bomb down the middle of the field, 34 yards in the air. Again, there's the extracurriculars after the catch for Castillo, but he's got catches of 34 yards for a touchdown, 32 yards for a touchdown, and 16 yards for a touchdown as well.
I'll tell you, Oaken Williams, pretty good coverage on that. It was just a perfect pass, and just what you want Blade Clark. Tackle, guards, everybody funneled outside. He stepped up, got himself into that pass, and just threw it beautifully in the middle of the field. And I think a lot of people were thinking Blade Clark, he's more of the runner. I would tell you what, he's showing things with his arm tonight. He has impressed us.
You bet. You got to give credit to that offensive line, too. They've given him the time he needed to step up in that pocket and make good throws. Has he been blasted after the fact? Absolutely. But that kid's got guts. He's got some moxie right there. That's what you got to have to play that position.
Holtzinger going to have to kick off from his own 25 due to that celebration penalty on the Derby Panthers.
Panthers right now 8 penalties, 60 yards. Castillo very much a candidate for player of the game, without a doubt.
So a return for Guito Carano from about the 18, right up the numbers. Now he wants to go back wide left. And again, fantastic pursuit. And open field tackling, and
that was Larry Jeremiah Jr., with number 5 on the return.
Oh, excuse me, yeah, wrong number.
Carano was back in that spot, but Larry Jeremiah stepping up in that spot. I think maybe those cramps still could be having an issue. Very possibly.
Very possibly. We'll see if he's out there at that main running back. And again, you thought Hutch was going to get a little bit better field position, their own 26. But Holtzinger, good kickoff and great coverage by special teams. I think that's one area you won't be happy with, the missed extra points, but special teams certainly a concern for Derby coming in. They did allow the one long return game by the Salthawks. And now they hand it off, and nothing doing around the right side of the line for Carmelo Green. A whole host of Panthers were there.
Well, that's just the giant green curtain just surrounding the ball carrier. And that's exactly what you want as a defensive coordinator. He's got to be just foaming at the mouth, just so proud of the way his defense has played tonight.
Molei Talu is in there on the stop. It's 2nd and 11. And the first screen, there's number 5, Larry Jeremiah, up the sideline and out of bounds around the 32-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
And I would say in that opportunity, the way the defensive Derby's been playing, that is not the right call. Don't air one out towards the sidelines, but a great the execution of that play was phenomenal. Boy, got the ball out quick. Great job by Robert Hunter to get the ball out of his hands quick. Got it to his receiver. Let him work after the catch.
Yeah, they haven't. First time they've thrown that tonight. Have not gone to the bubble game or anything like that. And Hutch trying to hold on to the football. Pressure right up the middle. Hunter scrambles out and trying to get back behind his lineman. He's got room to run. He'll have the first down, and he is out of bounds across the 40 to the 44-yard line. And you can tell, he's like, man, there was the pressure right up the middle. It comes.
You bet. Right, a 15-yard gain coming on a busted play. And just using his feet and those legs to make plays and get his team just a little bit further down the field and move those chains.
So the 44 for the Salt Hawks. And back to the ground game again, trying to go wide and finding a little bit of a crease. They go back to Carmelo Green. He's out to midfield. Nice patient run. It was getting strung out, but he cut at the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, another shifty runner. Again, just finding seams and cutting through them.
On the roster, Green listed as he's running back, defensive back. And some of the Salt Hawks do go both ways. Not many, but a couple will.
Haven't heard anything out of D'Angelo Gray, number 9 tonight. He's one of those guys that's gotten a few catches, 85 yards, a couple of touchdowns.
Timeout.
Timeout looks like it's being called here.
Their second of the half.
It is.
And Hutch, yeah, going to take their second timeout of the third quarter. So again, we'll talk about this a little bit later. We will see the Mays Eagles started tonight, the lone unbeaten in Class 6A. Their crosstown rivals, Mays South Mavericks. That's next week. I tell you, Braden Maiavello, we saw him last year in that matchup. Just a game, or maybe just his second game at quarterback or thereabouts after they made the switch. After we saw him here get blasted by Derby when he was a wide receiver. And boy, he impressed us, and he has led that team to this great start. I'm excited to see the Mays Eagles and the Mays South Mavericks next week.
You betcha. Gonna be quite the battle.
And Hunter back. A little bit of time, steps up, was hit when he threw. This could be a fumble. And do I see a signal? Yes, there's incomplete.
Again, the blitz package just coming from all sides. You see him just getting surrounded, and then everybody to the football. Great job. I didn't see who made the find. It was number 11. Again, I'm telling you what, 11 has been to the football so many times tonight. He's just exceptional.
Well, going off under some duress there, looking at his shoulder. Moali'i Tele could be banged up, and now Hunter again under duress. Just going to take off with it. Caught from behind by Razion Shears. A little short of the first down, and at this point, 4th and a yard, and really no decision. Hutch will just leave the offense out there.
For the pursuit. I mean, if you just look at Montgomery, Washington, Houston, Hornbeck, and of course, Moali'i Tella. I mean, I tell you what, those guys so fast to the football.
So Hunter on 4th and a yard, going to go to Jeremiah. Oh, and I don't think so. I think so quick to the football were the Derby Panthers. Oh, yeah, where they come in and mark this, they may have lost yardage. Well, you think a bubble could get you a yard, but I tell you what, great coverage out on the edge by the Panthers.
I think it was Rex Winkle and Montgomery just fought to the football, as well as 34. I haven't called his number tonight.
I don't actually have that number on. Let me check another roster.
Yeah, you and me both.
He's not on either roster we have, so that's a little mystery to us. But yeah, Derby takes over on downs at their own 48. And back to Finley, straight ahead to the Salt Hawk 45. And the Panthers If they choose to go tempo, can snap it again. They do not have to.
I think they're going to be content to switch into the fields, take us into the fourth quarter. And
everybody heading to the sideline. And it looks like Derby will be more than content. I tell you, the way this third quarter went, Derby scoring 26 unanswered. We're in the third quarter as they will take a commanding 43-7 lead into the fourth quarter. The happy homecoming through 3 for the Derby Panthers and the Game Time High School Game of the Week on YurView.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident, it was not your fault. Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Hi folks, welcome back. If you or someone you know has been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you now suffer from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you could be entitled to significant cash compensation. Rob, who should be calling in right now?
Just like you said, Paula, if you or someone you know have been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you are now suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you may be entitled to significant compensation.
Thanks, Rob. Take action and call now.
43-7 Derby with the lead and a 2nd and 3. And back to Finley off a right tackle. Looks like maybe about a yard short. His helmet popped off. He'll have to check out for one play.
Scott, if you're Derby right here, what's your thought process?
I think if I'm Coach Clark, I'm going to keep it on the ground, keep doing what I've been doing, and if I can put points on the board this time, I'm going to get a lot of clean jerseys, figuratively, of course, on the turf, into the ball game moving forward. And it's Clark. Of course, your backup, Shamari Jones. And Derby going to burn one of their remaining two timeouts.
Their second charge to the half.
And we will take this break with you. Derby a big 3rd and a yard when we return to Derby on Game Time Game of the Week on YurView.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident, it was not your fault. Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Option pitch on the edge to Jones, fighting for the first down. He's momentarily got it, but Hankey's on the field. I think this may be coming back on a hold out on the edge on Derby. And they have a player also slow to get up.
Yeah, dealing with cramps out here in the field. It's a hot October. We're not used to these temperatures this time of year. And obviously the players didn't hydrate enough to prepare for it as well.
That's Michael Castillo. He has 3 straight touchdowns
Number
in
3,
this game, and it is a hold.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
It's going to go against Derby, so it'll make a 3rd and a yard, a 3rd and 11.
Well, the 9th penalty against Derby, and that's the 3rd offensive hold. But you know, the whole scrum thing, if we get back to that, to remember how there was a penalty flag thrown on the initial tackle out of bounds that I would have thought would have been unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds. But that, I don't believe, was assessed throughout the whole process after the scrum.
Well, I guess, are they considering that if you're out of bounds that the play was over? Because so if everything was post-play, everything offset, because we had 4 flags down.
I guess.
So I'm not exactly sure how that all got worked out. It did, as Clark, again, spins off of a tackle in a second, still breaking tackles and gets hit by his own man, gets to the edge, and Clark moving forward is going to get the first down for. And oh my goodness, the Salthawks cannot get him to the ground, and now we got Salthawks slow to get up.
This young man, Braden Clark, the coach's son, I'm telling you what, if this kid isn't full of much moxie as you could possibly shove into a guy that's 6'1", 190 pounds, I don't know where else you could put it. But he just has a will to not go down. He fights it tooth and nail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Almost
6.
lost the football.
Yeah, almost lost. I think he actually did lose the football right there, but I think he was already down. But 6 Salthawks touched him before they finally got him to the ground. And again, the word that comes to mind is just grit.
They injured a Saltawk, Kingston Werner, junior linebacker. Walking off the field, and Derby moves the chains down to the Hutch 41. There you see Blade Clark, junior coach's son, and Chris Dorsey, a pretty good player behind him, a senior, as the backup quarterback. We may see him here in just a little while. And now back to Jamari Jones. He spins inside the 35 to the 34.
Good run by Jamari Jones. I'll tell you what, him and Arias Finley, well, they're cut out of the same cloth. Both very elusive. Hard to get down. Great balance. They're both low to the ground. Got a low center of gravity. And just fighting for every yard.
Good vision. Nice cuts there by the sophomore. Listed at 5'9", 150. It looks a little bit more than 150 from here, but usually they exaggerate your weights a little heavier in football. And a bad snap. Clark going to, well, he had to go down. He lost his balance when he ran by it. I think initially he was going to try to pick it up and at least throw it away to avoid a ginormous loss back to, it's like the 47.
Yeah, you watch this ball come squirting out and just goes right by his right hand, and did the smart thing, grab the football, get on top of it, live to fight another day.
So now that sets up a 3rd down and about 16. And Derby, they may have in mind using their last timeout. Play clock is ticking down to 5. Well, they didn't get it off. It's at 0. No flags. Oh, goodness. That was at 0 for quite a while as a little slip screen is dropped by Talon Cunningham, but that went 2 or 3 seconds past the 0 without a penalty marker and brings up 4th down.
And you would think that Coach Mike Vernon would be in the ear of the official, but you can see the expression on his face right there. Mike is obviously not happy with what he's seen tonight.
Yeah, he has to be very disappointed, especially the 3rd quarter for Hutch. 26 so far unanswered. A high snap. Holtzinger able to get it down, and it's a wobbly kick, but it's going to bounce inside the 20. And kind of checks up right there, just inside about the 19.5-yard line.
I think you'll take that out of your special teams. You know, you've put your opponent back to the 20. They've got 80 yards to drive, and they have not been successful about getting down the field on you. And with 8:53 left to go, that could burn up a lot of time and put this one away fairly quickly.
Yeah, outside of that one Hutch drive to end the first half, they have just been stymied tonight by a smothering Derby defense. Robert Hunter has just had, just no opportunities to step on that one drive. Most of his runs have been scrambles just to try to get away from that relentless pressure. And now a play action. He's got some time. One-on-one coverage and overshoots his intended target. Again, trying to find Lamar Govain, who's got the one touchdown tonight for the Salt Talks. But again, pretty good coverage. Had to be perfect and just a little overthrown.
Definitely did. I can see why South Dakota State likes Robert Hunter. He's committed to go there, and the kid's got the arm. He's got the athletic ability. Under different circumstances, this could be a different showing for that young man.
Yeah, I think they want to make him a defensive back, if I remember Coach correctly, there at South Dakota State. Now he'll hand it off this time. Oh boy, nothing for Carmelo Green. And it looks like our mystery player there, number 34 on the stop.
Yeah, just straight blitz package and coming off the linebacker spot. Of course, there's number 15 once again, Mr. Montgomery.
He's been all over the field tonight. Trying to see, I think our Moali Tele has not returned to the game. He went off favoring a shoulder and is not out there on this defensive possession for Derby. Now play clock running down. Oh, they got a reset. Hunter just going to take off with it, trying to get wide and wrestled to the ground by Dalton Hornback, number 11.
Hornback has had his nose to the football so many times this evening that it's going to be interesting to look at the stats when they get everything all calculated after this is over.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 3.
Oh, brother. And to compound things, that's a chop block,
Penalties
second one we've seen in the second half on the Salt Talks. Derby will just take the short loss on the play and make Hutch punt. Oh, there was a...
So did they decline the penalty?
They did decline the penalty because it was about a 2-yard loss on the play and brings up 4th down.
Interesting.
So Drayton Hippen will punt it. Hunter punted to start the game, then after he's having trouble with those cramps, they've gone to Hippen. Jamari Jones might have an opportunity here. Oh, he signaled for a fair catch, and he had some room to run. And that's what he's thinking, why did I fair catch that? He still can't believe it's like, man, I had 5-10 yards of a head start there on the Hutch defenders. It was such a line drive kick, but Derby still starts in Hutch territory at the 45-yard line.
Got to take advantage of every opportunity you're given. You never know when that could be the big play. But again, gives his offense an opportunity to come back on the field, and with great field possession, I think we're going to see a quarterback here as well, Scott.
And I do not believe that's our listed backup. We will try to get the number, and it is not. They go to Jones on the carry off left end. Boy, and look at him fight for extra yardage. He is going to be just about a yard short of the first down as he took the handoff from Levi McLaughlin. He's listed as a defensive back on our roster, and listed it is, well, is that 19?
No, I believe it is 18.
It is 18. There's a new receiver in there, number 19, Emmanuel Amaya. So McLaughlin, a junior, 6'1", 180 out there. So Chris Dorsey not in there, and now a little read option. McLaughlin first down off left end, and he lowers his shoulder to finish that run down to about the 32.
Yeah, I think you're going to see both teams start to platoon, get those younger players involved in the game and get them some game experience. And, boy, this is one that, Hudson's going to go back to the drawing board and look at this and go, where did things go wrong? And boy, I mean, it was right off the punch. You thought Hutch gets the turnover off the kick, and they got a chance to drive, and boom, you throw the ball away, get an interception, gives it right back to Derby, and boy, the wheels kind of fell off shortly after that.
It was that third quarter. They'll want to scrap the tape on. It's now a little stretch play. I think that's Jones again, first down carry inside the 25. Boy, this is a hard running Jamari Jones.
Boy, he's coming right at you. And again, he puts his head down, he goes north and south. There's no doubt about it.
You gotta like the balance as well. After he was tripped up, he gained another 3-4 yards. Sets up a second down and about 6. Yeah, McLaughlin working a play clock down under 10 and back to Jones. Stretch play. Oh, nice cut back in the middle of the field. You get inside the 20 and the first down. I'll tell you what, I'm anxious to get another look at this, and that cut was amazing.
Gets the handoff in the backfield, puts his foot in the ground, cuts back towards the left, boom, right back to the right. Finds a way to pick up extra yards, and those chains just slowly march down the field.
I'll tell you what, you had Dylan Edwards here, Arias Finley, and it looks like things are in good shape behind Arias Finley with Jamari Jones. Finley a junior and Jones a sophomore. And now they fake it. McLaughlin cuts to the middle of the field, 10-5, touchdown Derby. Boy, that was a beautiful read option run by Levi McLaughlin, and this one out of hand in Derby.
Yeah, see the defensive back / third string quarterback. Shows off his athleticism, big frame. And again, able to tuck the football in, heads to the end zone, keeps the balance and gets across.
All happens after he bobbled the initial snap a little bit, so that everything going the Panthers' way. Here in Derby this evening, 49-7. Looks like the offense will stay out there for a 2-point conversion. Give it to Jones, cuts it, dives in for the 2-point conversion. And Derby, 51, Hutch 7. Back for the remaining 4:46 after this break on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
4:46 left. All Derby here tonight on homecoming, 51-7.
Got some numbers for you. If you want to hear them.
Oh, boy.
For Derby, 194 yards on the ground on 47 carries. And in the air, 6 receptions, 195 yards, a total of 389 yards of offense. 7 first downs in the first, 6 first downs so far in the second, 13 total. So a big day. Finley only 40 total yards. Clark's got 74 on the ground.
And Hogan Williams, a nice diving catch to save some yardage at the 29. So it's just 6 receptions for Derby tonight. Is that correct?
That's what they're showing. 6 receptions.
How many of those are for touchdowns?
Most.
I was going to say it had to be most of them.
I think at least 3 are for touchdowns. For Hutch, boy, things don't look so good. 7 receptions, 62 yards, 27 rushes for 33 yards, just 95 yards of offense, and 6 first downs.
Well, Robert Hunter will return to quarterback. Thought they might go a little different direction the rest of the way. They'll hand it to Green, and again, put under in the backfield.
Yeah, bottled up pretty quick. And again, I think that offensive line has been worn down, whittled down, and they've been on the field and been taking punishment tonight. Some of those guys may be going both ways. I haven't honestly checked and kept good track of that to see if that's what's going on. But the way cramping has gone tonight, the way, that you want to stay juiced up for one of these games and full of fluids, boy, it just hasn't happened. You're seeing a lot of cramping.
I know Jeremiah, I've seen him out there, Larry Jeremiah on defense. I think even Robert Hunter was out for a few snaps defensively for Hutch. They'll go to Jeremiah on the bubble screen, broke 1 tackle, gets across the 30. And is out of bounds around the 32.
The play's been effective since they've started running. I don't think they started running until maybe late in the 3rd, start of the 4th. They've really went to that little bubble screen, and it's been effective.
Well, if you remember, until this season, Derby had been running the veer. And they made the decision in the offseason to go to the spread. And Coach Vernon said, we felt like this offense would fit our kids better, but we're still getting used to it. So you're still seeing a few kinks going against a fantastic defense tonight in Derby. And Hutch did get I didn't know if they were going to get a reset. They did. Oh, and this is messed up from the beginning. And Hunter, I think he thought about pitching it back. He is rudely slung to the ground. And he's favoring maybe a hand or something as he goes behind the bench. I think he might have hit his hand. Let's see it again. And I think he wanted to maybe fake it to Green. Might have been a draw or something. I think his hand got banged up. Connor Burgett, 29, made the tackle and will force a punt from Hutch. And again, they've been Drayden Hippen. Derby, they're not going to put anybody back.
I think they're just going to let this one go and put the offense back on the field. And, what a bounce.
That's going to be a big yardage punt for Hippen. Trying to urge it along there was Cooper Harris. And he downs it about the 7.
So Hippen's going to pad the stat sheet with that one. He got a great roll off the bounce.
That's going to roll the average up there. It's kind of like the old, you see some film of the old baseball players that used to, the bunt that was down on the artificial turf, they drop down on their knees and start blowing the baseball across the foul line. And that's one of the few things here in the second half that have gone right for a Salt Talk team that was just down 17-7 at halftime. And boy, the mistakes piled up quickly in the 3rd quarter. Pick 6, another quick pick, and a goal-to-go situation and field position just throughout the game, not just that 3rd quarter, heavily in favor of Derby. And you see Levi McLaughlin led a nice touchdown drive last time. Probably just going to have a heavy dose of him and Jones. There goes Jones, breaks a tackle into the secondary, and boy, that could have been a touchdown. saving tackle that time by Brett Lemons, number 32, or Jones might still be running.
Yeah, Jones so shifty. Watch him get to the second level again, coming off. Again, they're heavily run to that right side. And once you get into the secondary with Jones, Finley, or Clark, that could be so dangerous.
Kind of pick your poison there on that backfield. Yeah, McLaughlin, he's doing a little play clock watching. He's going to run her down to under 5. And then just take a knee. And if I got my numbers in my head correctly, I'll have to do it just one more time.
Yeah, Derby's going to finish the game with 389 yards in total offense. Pretty balanced, 194 and 195. 194 rushing, 195 in the air. Biggest part of that, as you know, goes to number 3, Michael Castillo.
Yeah, I think we were told 3 straight touchdowns there in the third quarter.
Just one bomb after the next, but boy, you look at what this Hutch team's done, 34-0. They beat Andover Central at Andover Central.
Beat a good Valley Center team.
Yes, beat a good Valley Center team, 25-18. And then loss, of course, to Mays, 56-19. And then Salina South beat them on at Hutch, 35-13. So they're going to fall to Derby tonight. But, boy, they're going to definitely need to regroup because their schedule is a winnable schedule, but they've got to be better coming out next Friday, and I'm sure they will be.
This one's not going to set well with those Hutch players or head coach Mike Vernon, as Derby convincing tonight on homecoming, 51-7. Stay tuned for our post game. That coming up and more after this break on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident, it was not your fault. Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Hi folks, welcome back. If you or someone you know has been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you now suffer from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you could be entitled to significant cash compensation. Rob, who should be calling in right now?
Just like you said, Paula, if you or someone you know have been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you are now suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you may be entitled to significant compensation.
Thanks, Rob. Take action and call now.
Time on Your View is brought to you by Keeley Roofing and Construction. Let us show you why our customers voted us the best of Wichita for roofing, siding, decks, and guttering. Keeley Roofing and Construction. where quality meets integrity.
Derby wins it tonight over Hutch on homecoming night, 51-7, as they're now 3-2, as are the Salt Talks. Well, Scott, time to take a look at our play of the game this evening.
And again, it's great protection in the pocket. Blake Clark stepping back, heaves it down the middle of the field. Who's there? Michael Castillo. One of his 3 catches for touchdowns tonight. He had catches of 16, 32, and 34, all for touchdowns. But that one, probably the most spectacular call of the game.
And that was the smart call of the game, courtesy of Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. You can learn more at cox.com/mobile. Also, one of 3 in a row.
Yes.
Touchdowns for Michael Castillo. There you see the Derby players are going to enjoy a band performance here in the post game. We've got more coming up. Stay tuned on the Game Time High School Game of the Week on Your View.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
51-7, your final tonight. Derby over Hutchinson. Both teams now 3-2 on the season, kind of in that middle of the pack, probably in 5 and 6A. And Scott, it was a dominating performance by Derby tonight. Too many Hutch mistakes. I mean, even that, Hutch fighting tooth and nail, had it 10 points at halftime, and then boy, that disastrous third quarter with the pick six, the other quick pick, and the field position. And boy, I tell you, once it started rolling for Derby in the second half, Hutch was just powerless to stop it.
And they were in a dominating, smothering, opportunistic performance by that defense. And the keys to the game today were for Derby was win special teams. I think field possession-wise took care of that, but Derby couldn't beat Derby tonight. That had to be a key. They definitely did not. They very opportunistic, taking advantage of opportunities. The pick six, the pick on the next play, the turnovers, hitting big plays down the field when you knew you had them. They were looking for something, and you changed it up, did something else, went down the seam. 3 touchdowns in a row by Castillo. Blake Clark. Phenomenal performance tonight. Gutsy performance. Took a lot of punishment, but got the job done. Took his team to the victory.
Yeah, he did. He looked very, very good tonight for the Derby Panthers. Well, next week, it's Braden Maivella and the Maize Eagles. They'll take on the Maize South Mavericks. That's our next game up Friday, October 10th, our pregame starting at 7 o'clock. That crosstown rivalry, always a good one. We're anxious to get there and see that one next week. Well, a fun evening here in Derby ends up in a rout for the homestanding Panthers. As you've been watching the Game Time High School Game of the Week on Your View, Derby takes the victory over Hutchinson 51-7. On behalf of our entire crew, alongside Scott Gurney, I'm Scott Hogan. So long from Derby, and God bless.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, live from Johnny's Tavern, West Lawrence. Welcome to Hawk Talk with Lance Leipold. In the next hour, Coach Leipold will provide the inside scoop on everything Jayhawk football. Hawk Talk with Lance Leipold is brought to you by Johnny's Tavern, a great local sports bar from Raymore to Topeka with 13 locations. Visit johnnystavern.com for the location nearest you.
And Kate's Heating and Cooling. Service makes the difference.
Now, let's go live to Johnny's Tavern, West Lawrence, alongside Coach Leipold. Here's the voice of the Jayhawks, Brian Haney.
Good evening, Jayhawk fans, and welcome in to another exciting edition of Hawk Talk with Lance Leipold. Back live once again at our traditional home, Johnny's Tavern, West Lawrence. We'll be talking all things Kansas Jayhawk football for the next 60 minutes right here on the Jayhawk Sports Network and all across Jayhawk Nation. My name is Brian Haney, joined as always by the head ball coach of Kansas Jayhawk football, Lance Leipold. We've got another awesome crowd here tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. And a special episode because typically we spotlight a couple of student athletes. Tonight you get a chance to hear from 3, offense, defense, and special teams all represented. Plus we'll talk about some breaking news from earlier this morning involving the Union Jack Classic in September of 2026. The Jayhawks trading in their Wilson wings at Johnny's for some fish and chips in London. How about that? We'll break that down with Coach in just a bit. Coach Leipold, great to see you.
Good to be with you, Brian. And like you said, we got a lot to talk about, bringing out 3 players. You know, we have so many guys on this team that I think our fans would really love to get to know and to try to give everybody an opportunity. It was great that we could get 3 here tonight.
No doubt. And you do a great job of showcasing these great personalities who all represent us so well. And so because of that, with the likes of Bryce Foster of the Kansas offensive line, Leroy Harris of the Kansas defensive line, and Laith Marjan of the Kansas special teams unit, our place kicker, with those 3 guys coming up in segments 3, 4, and 5, I got to maximize my time with you up front here and squeeze in a ton. Obviously, Saturday's final couple of minutes didn't go the way we were hoping for. A shootout with Cincinnati, 37-34. The Bearcats get the win despite a prolific passing day for Jalen Daniels and a lot of big plays all around. But going back, looking at the film, what jumped out at you and what have been the focuses or points of emphasis this week?
Yeah, you know, a lot of good things. Again, obviously, offensively, Jalen had a big day. We were very explosive in the passing game and again, continued to battle. Defensively, probably not the results that we were hoping for. We got to stop in the fourth quarter. You know, we get a chance. We go down to take the lead. Can elaborate on that in a second, but sometimes you got to put it in your hands of your defense, get a stop, and unfortunately, we didn't do that. I thought there were times where, we said all week, that they were a very good football team with an excellent quarterback, and he got hot and, with making plays, running the ball, and also getting rid of it quickly. I think defensively we got a little, probably cautious in the back end a little bit, gave up some cushion and didn't play with the same type of confidence that we had in previous games, and we got to get that back this week.
You were a little bit shorthanded in the back end for injury, and then in the case of Devin Dye, missed the first half of the game because of the targeting the previous week. So still kind of mixing and matching back there, and sometimes that shows when you're up against a really good quarterback.
It does a little bit, and